So,
I lied. I'm not ready.
Oh.
Whoops.
Get that crisp, fresh audio for those of you early birds.
what do you...
I'm gonna knock over your phone with this coordinate.
That's fine. What do you remember? Like, what was happening?
We went to a pawn shop.
Yep.
We saw our orphaned friend,
Yep.
and she was like,
I want that CD.
I want that disc. And he was like, you're a thief,
Fuck you.
but here's that disc. And then Eggs Benedict III walked in, the most JoJo man I've ever seen in my life, and was like, pip pip cheerio, she stole from me, that's my disc. And she was like, no, I didn't. Also, Airlock Sholmes was really sad.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yep.
Airlock Sholmes went, pip pip cheerio, you're a liar and a thief. And then he, like, somehow vamoosed away from the fucking police when I thought he was already in custody. And that's about what I remember.
The fucking crime hasn't happened yet.
Incredible. We're just building up to the crime, I guess.
I forgot about this little guy. Let me guess, have you already picked out all the thin ones?
Yep. He showed it.
You're a monster.
Those thin fruit slices hit different than the normal like orange jelly ones.
You're right.
For context, we went to a wedding recently where there was a little gift jar for everyone full of these like gummy orange slice candies, and there are these really thick ones, and there are the really thin ones that actually look like a slice of citrus fruit.
And the thin ones, so the thick ones are just orange, but the thin ones were orange and lime. Or lime. Which is like one of my top fruit flavors. Up there with like watermelon and strawberry and cherry and pineapple and mango and ooh, they're all good.
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite artificial fruit flavor?
Watermelon and banana.
Same. Not less so the watermelon. Watermelon's always hit or miss for me, but I do love that artificial watermelon.
Wait, you just said the watermelon's hit or miss, but I do love that.
Banana's hit or miss.
Okay.
Watermelon I love. So.
You're good. You're good. Oh yeah. Okay.
We stopped.
He ran. The guy ran away. Police didn't catch him, and now we're having dinner with Gina Lestrade.
Yeehaw.
Okay. Starting now.
All right. She also stole my experimental smoke grenade launcher. Oh, well, after the trial, I invited her back here, and we had dinner together. That's so sweet. And now we are BFFs. Oh, what a lovely tale. Yep, now they bumped into her on the street. She runs away as fast as she can.
Oh, I remember we stopped for a long period of time because Oscar was telling us about the guy that like died in his dealership.
That's right.
And then we left, and we just stopped playing.
Yeah, what's up, Christian?
Hi, Christian. And I chased her down the back alleys.
Interesting idea of friendship. Whoa.
And I let her have the latest color of smoke grenades I've developed. Oh. I love it when people run behind me in back alleys to give me weapons.
You don't want to get spoiled on Curb?
How dare you?
Oh, nice.
I agree. I put off watching people play Curb because I wanted to play Curb.
Oh, Jenny wants to make a rainbow.
I suppose this means you've let Miss Lestrade keep the smoke grenade launcher, haven't you?
Yep, that's right. I got bored of it anyway. Hurley always reacts the same way when I shoot him with it now.
Or Hurley.
Ooh, I can't wait for Jenny to arrive. It's been too long since she last came over. I'm so excited!
The slight bit of aggression you had in your voice in the first part there.
I
can't wait to give her more weapons.
Yeah. More tools of mass destruction.
Alright, living with Sholmes. I'm sure you've been wondering why it is that I live here with Hurley, huh?
Well, it has crossed my mind. That and where your real parents are.
Dead.
When Mommy and Daddy aren't with me anymore. And the music comes to a grinding halt.
She stares like right behind you.
Mommy passed away when I was born. And around the same time, my father, well, he had to go to a faraway land because one of the cases he and Hurley were working on.
And now he's in an even further away land.
Christian, can you hear everyone okay, by the way? Wait a minute. Did you say Ian Hurley?
Yup. Daddy and Hurley were always solving mysterious cases together.
Thank you.
Rip-a-rooney, Iris. I'm sorry.
Oh no.
Girl, you about to get the worst damn news of your life.
She didn't mention that before.
He wrote them all up in his diaries. That's what's in the metal chest over there.
Really? He recorded them all?
Wow, we just like started off the stream and now my heart is like shattered into a big 2 pieces just now. Because
we knew this was coming, but like...
Yeah,
but you can kind of suspect who her dad is.
Oh.
I mean, just like how many people can have the last name Wilson, right?
He really did have a partner with whom he tackled some of his most taxing cases. Oh yeah, I mean, it's always nice to have one, isn't it?
So Mr. Shum's partner was your father.
Was.
What? Yay! Hurley told me I wasn't allowed to look in the chest. But that only made me want to look even more, so I opened it up.
As one does.
And you found your father's memoirs. Yep, so I asked Hurley, who wrote these? He nearly fell off his chair. But then he told me. That's when I found out the author of all those accounts was my pops.
So Iris's father was Mr. Shum's partner.
Oh my god, they dance around this so much.
Damn.
Say his damn name. He's dead.
Uh-oh.
John H.
If we get through this like line of dialogue that literally says Iris's father without them dropping the name.
I've practically lived with Hurley all my life. I was tiny when he took me in. So it came as quite a shock. I wonder if her dad had pink hair too.
Oh.
And Hurley told me he wasn't really my daddy. I mean...
It must have done.
What? What?
What?
Can
you look at the record roll for me?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, it came quite...
It came as quite a shock when Hurley took me in. When Hurley told me he wasn't really my dad, I mean.
It must have done?
You,
Okay.
Sure.
Makes sense to me.
Alright. Yeah, that checks out.
I wonder why Mr. Shulms chose to tell you at such a young age.
I didn't catch that the first time I played. Yeah, it's not the first language.
Yeah, you're right.
That's true, that's fair.
Hurley says it's because he wouldn't have been able to hide it from me. Oh? Well, having lived with Hurley all these years, you might say his ways have rubbed off on me.
That's kind of cute.
Is that so?
Oh.
To this degree, yeah.
There are just some things I can just see.
Christian, I saw the BRB thing you made, by the way. That's great.
Especially lies. I almost know when people are lying before they open their mouth sometimes.
Right.
No, Iris, I've never met your dad before.
Anyways, I was so fascinated when I read his diaries. And that's what inspired me to write The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. I'd always assumed Mr. Sholmes simply told you all those thrilling stories. Oh no, he's hopeless. He forgets everything. As soon as he solves a case, it all but vanishes from his mind. Oh, I see. The other day was so embarrassing. As usual, he totally forgot about the case he just solved. So the very next day, he gathered together all the people involved and proceeded to solve the case again.
Can we reenact this?
It was a shock for everyone.
You can say that again.
You share your father's surname, don't you, Iris? That's right. Wilson.
There
Daddy.
it fucking is.
Dr. John H. Wilson.
Welcome to the Deadass Dad Club, Iris.
I learned from his diaries that he's a doctor of medicine, you see. That's what prompted me to study and study so that I can earn a doctorate as well.
Iris's father went to some distant land and is a doctor by the name of John H. Wilson. But Here the trial, we're no skin Kindly state before the court the name of the victim in this case. The victim's name was Dr. John H. Wilson.
Oh.
That's right, visiting professor of medicine at Imperial Yume University. And the man who, in the most bizarre of circumstances, lost his life just before we left Japan.
Oh. Uh-oh. SpaghettiOs! Yeah.
Perhaps we shouldn't pursue this conversation any further at this time.
I think that would be for the best.
Ah, my dear fellows, how good to see you!
Mr. Sholmes!
Why ever did you not make your presence known to me before? Well, no matter now. So, how the devil are you?
We've been with you for most of the day.
Goodness, really?
Do tell me, Mr. Sholmes, is your violin unscathed?
My violin? Whatever are you talking about, dear madam?
Oh, no. Oh,
Never mind that now. I have something far more interesting to show you. Behold, my dear fellows.
Oh, another music box disc.
No, not another disc, Miss Susato.
Actually...
Actually, this is the one Gregson demanded we hand over as evidence. Mr. McGilden's disc.
Hold on to that voice.
Oh. Oh no.
What have I done?
Oh my.
And what is it doing here?
I stole it, my dear boy. You know, at times, Mr. Naruhodo, I think that though I have an undeniable turn for detection, I may be well more adept at larceny. Oh shit!
Oh my Sholmes, no! Ooh, that would be wonderfully exciting. I'll be your pickpocketing assistant.
Oh damn, she's in deep.
And Runo could be the go-to lawyer if we ever got caught.
I love them. Holy shit.
Better call Runo.
Right.
Plus, Susie has such beautiful handwriting so she could write all of our menacing crime notifications. Yes, I'd be delighted.
I'm gonna pretend this conversation never happened, I think.
Susato's so ride or die.
Yep.
Okay, we still got this. Hey, buddy, did I ever show you what this looks like?
I must stop you there, Mr. Naruhodo. Unofficial I may be, but I am nevertheless a professional. I couldn't examine such a humdrum item for anything less than £5.
Yikes.
Oh no, I didn't really want you to examine it. I just wanted to ask if...
My dear fellow, as a professional consulting detective, I couldn't possibly venture an opinion. For anything less than £5.
Are you perhaps hoping to purchase a new telescope in the near future, Mr. Sholmes?
Indeed I am. As you know, it has long been an ambition of mine to discover a new star and name it for myself.
Because your earthly stardom isn't enough.
Beautiful.
Incredible.
Good.
The music box disc.
I don't understand. How did that disc come to be in your possession? I thought Inspector Gregson took it back to Scotland Yard.
Quite correct. That sort of uncompromising attitude is precisely why I always carry some of this.
Chocolate? That's a bar of caramel, Mr. Sholmes.
Your one and only friend in times of loneliness, if I'm not mistaken.
You will humor me, my dear fellows. Cast your minds back to when the good detective confiscated the disc. I'll be taking that, whatever it is, of the McGildings down to the yard. Thank you very much. So hand it over.
Yes, of course.
At least demand something as evidence, my dear fellow. We have no choice but to capitulate. It's all yours, Inspector. At the briefest of moments, I had the disc in my hand, did I not?
Yes, you did. But I still don't understand.
It was at precisely that moment that I summoned my one and only friend into action. I pressed the disc into a pair of bars like this.
That's amazing. The disc and all the minuscule protrusions have made an image in the caramel.
Indeed, this caramel is quite exceptional. I developed it myself, you know. Suitably soft for making impressions, but resistant to melting. The result of a precisely controlled solution.
How extraordinary.
Carrying a pair of these on one's person frequently proved very useful indeed. Take a house key, for example. A simple press in its unique form is duplicated. You can enter anyone's property at will, and never without high sucrose nourishment.
Yeesh. Sounds illegal.
From the image, I was able to create this. Confess I was most curious to know what manner of music would issue from the disc when played.
The music on the disc.
Whoa, whoa.
Do tell us then, Mr. Sholmes. What music does the disc play?
Well, unfortunately, I have no idea.
No idea.
None ideas.
None whatsoever. Are you familiar with the workings of a music box, my dear fellows?
I'm afraid not.
Goodness, you don't know, Runo? We don't talk about Runo.
Up.
Whoa! Inside a music box, there's a special metal piece called a comb. That's what produces the sound. Small protuberances pluck the different teeth of the comb as they rotate past it, making the different notes. The first music boxes to be invented used a rotating cylinder with protuberances on it.
Over time, a new type of player was produced, which uses discs such as these. That development, the popularity of music boxes spread far and wide, all around the globe.
Why, exactly?
Because the discs are easy to produce and can be interchanged to facilitate the playing of different tunes. There are a great many firms in Europe now manufacturing music boxes as a result.
It is wonderful to be able to enjoy music even when no performer is present.
It is the very success of the invention that means we are now presented with an insurmountable problem.
What do you mean?
You may imagine the construction of one firm's music box does not match that of another. We have no way of knowing which music box this particular disc was designed to be played. There's no resolution to this problem, I'm afraid. It's quite intractable.
Ah, I see. So that's why...
Naturally, I tested the disc in those few music boxes I have at my disposal. As you can hear, to no avail. The results were equally unsatisfactory in this one. So, I am presently engaged in acquiring an example of all the music boxes ever made in Europe.
Every single one? That's Hurley for ya. Always taking things too far.
But my dear girl, an unsolved riddle is quite repugnant to my constitution.
But surely all the different types in Europe will amount to a huge volume of music boxes, won't it?
Yes, that is certainly true. In the worst case, I shall just have to ask you to vacate the attic room.
What?
Damn.
Magnus McGilded.
Agnes McGilded, not a name I expected to hear again so soon.
Yeah, it's only been 2 months since that Grizzly case. Grizzly. Mr. McGilded perished within hours of the trial's conclusion. Was it the curse of the Reaper? No one knows. Till now.
It's so hot.
Yep.
The omnibus was reduced to a pile of ash. Not a shred of evidence remained.
I'm sorry, I was talking about Magnus McGilded. Who are you guys talking about?
Oh, is
Yeah.
that so?
Yeah, and with the man's death, the truth about the murder in which he was so intimately involved was buried. Even though we successfully established Mr. McGilded's innocence in the trial,
The newspapers are still claiming that it remains an unsolved case.
the murder of the brickmaker, Mr. Thrice-Fired Mason, in the end, the truth of the matter remains a mystery. We still have no idea what really happened that night. Although Mr. McGilded was found not guilty through my defense, still don't know if that was the right judgment or not.
It appears the case is not yet closed.
It does appear that way, doesn't it? Well, it's time to start getting things ready for dinner, I think. Ginny will be here before long.
Thank you, Iris.
Oh, well, you must let me help you then. Of course, Susie, there's plenty to do.
I think I shall investigate the condition of my faithful performing partner. Now then, where did I leave it?
Let this be a lesson to you, Mr. Sholmes. Never leave anything too precious with the pawnbroker.
Yes, you may be right.
Oh, that reminds me of something Mr. Windibank said before. He said that he had a manuscript of Iris's in pawn, didn't he?
Did he?
Yeah, he definitely mentioned it. Mr. Sholmes' latest tale of otherworldly mystery lies dormant in my storeroom. Those were his words, I believe.
So you heard about that, did you? I expect you were incensed as I was. Oh yes, the idea of such a wonderful story languishing in Mr. Windibank's storeroom gathering dust.
My dear madam, I'm quite sure I told you already. The pawnbroker's storeroom is the safest place for it, more secure than a bank's vault.
And what about your Stradivarius, Hurley? Was that safe and secure?
Well, there may be the occasional mix-up.
Caused by a certain impetuous someone not too far from me now.
Do you have any idea how long it took me to write that Baskerville story, Hurley? Oh, it sounds so exciting! The Hound of the Baskervilles! I should love to read it. Hello? Hello?
What's going on here?
Dude, I can't stop looking at Hairlock. What is this stare?
Why does it feel like an icy chill just swept through the room? Fucking facade. Melon.
Susie? What did you just say? You said the Hound of the Baskervilles. But how could you know the full title? Well,
It's because Miss Susato is such a great fan of all the stories about Mr. Sholmes, of course.
But Bruno, the Hound of the Baskervilles has not been published.
What?
Oh, Susato's a thief now.
When I showed Hurley the manuscript, he told me that I wasn't allowed to publish it yet.
I don't understand.
That's why he said he'd keep it safe. Until it was the right time for the story to be made public, you see.
So that's why the manuscript is at Windibank's?
And yet, how could Susie here know its title? Well, Hurley, what's going on?
What is it, Mr. Sholmes?
It would appear our guest has arrived.
Miss Lestrade.
This was a bad idea. I knew I weren't welcome. I'm going.
Oh, she's gone.
No, wait, Miss Lestrade. We've all been eagerly awaiting your arrival. Haven't we, Iris? Gina gets here and everyone looks like they're grieving.
Does she, like, know her dad's fucking dead now because she knew the title?
Just wait right there, Ginny. We'll have everything ready in a jiffy. Come along, Susie. Right, of course. It's a pleasure to see you here, Miss Lestrade. Please, make yourself at home.
I'm so lost.
You should be.
Don't stand in the doorway, my dear girl. Come along in. What say you to some Mendelssohn? I won't take a no for an answer.
Meddlesome it is.
Ooh. Write that down, write that down.
That evening, Iris prepared us all a meal that was even more delicious than usual. Mr. Sholmes' violin performance was in no way meddlesome. And Gina, as we came to call her, taught us all how to steal things from one another without being noticed. Everyone thoroughly enjoyed themselves well into the night.
That is.
Until
the accident.
Oh no. Alright, Nick, that was a good call last time we streamed this to stop it there and begin it now because...
Yeah?
Oh my god, I don't know. I'm feeling really into this right now. But also just like, I don't know, things happening.
Yeah, the plot kind of like is about to ramp the fuck up.
Oh god.
That was a very enjoyable evening, wasn't it?
Oh yes, Iris's cooking was truly divine.
And I feel as though I can still hear the enchanting strains of Mr. Sholmes' violin, even now.
Best of all, I bet I could steal the glasses from his lordship's face next time we're in court. Naruhodo-san, could I consult with you about something, I wonder?
What's the matter, Sato-san?
It's about the telegram I received.
Oh yeah, there was a telegram. The one that arrived first thing this morning, I suppose.
Who's dead?
I've been summoned.
Oh.
What? Summoned? What do you mean?
The telegram was from the Lord Chief Justice's office. Lord Strongheart, he asked to see me.
Chief Justice? When?
Tomorrow morning.
What? Then we have to start preparing at once.
Oh, no, that won't be necessary, Naruhodo-san. I've been summoned alone.
Alone? What on earth for?
I have no idea. I suppose I shall find out tomorrow.
What's all this about? Whatever it is, it's making me feel very uneasy. Oh, who could that be, I wonder?
Good evening, friends!
Iris! Hello again.
And Gina, too. Yep, she's gonna stay with us tonight. She's gonna sleep in with me. Isn't that right, Ginny? Well, yeah. How lovely. Let me make a pot of tea. You know, I've learned so much today. Oh, what in particular? All those things Ginny showed us, wasn't it wonderful?
Ah, you mean all those pickpocketing techniques. We had fun trying them out on each other, didn't we?
I think I've awakened a natural talent. I could earn a living from it.
You might be getting ahead of yourself a little there. So, what brings you up to our humble quarters at this late hour?
That's a good question. What brings you up to here? Up here with us? Well, you see, I came to return this.
What? That's mine.
Oh my, however did you? I told you, didn't I? I have a natural talent for it.
Ah, yes, I'd forgotten. Iris literally is a child genius. Jimmy Neutron.
So anyway, here, you can have it back. Not that I really understand why you wear it, though.
Ah, thank you.
Alright then, good night.
Yes, good night.
So this is your office, is it? What do you think, Jenny? I think I wouldn't fancy me chances with a lawyer not what lives in a place like this. Yeah, me too. Hee hee, a hoo hoo, a ha ha.
And this kid's savage.
It seems as though Iris here still has something she'd like to talk about.
I suppose she probably wants to talk about the manuscript.
Yeah, I suppose she probably does.
Alrighty, let's go.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Iris, I suppose you're hoping to talk about the manuscript, aren't you? Aren't you going to tell me? I'm so sorry. I need a little more time, please.
What in the fucking world?
Alright, I understand. I hope I haven't made you feel awkward. Oh no, not at all, Iris, not at all.
Oh,
What you're thinking?
did she snoop through the box and read his actual diary entries, and that's why this is awkward?
What, Susato?
Did Susato snoop through
The
Wilson's chest?
No, this is not in the chest.
Okay.
Interesting.
It's in the pawnbrokery and has been for a very long time.
No. I mean, like, the only thing I can think of is, like, so a lot of these stories are based off the adventures of Wilson and Sholmes, and the places where she's actually getting these stories, aside from hearing it from Sholmes, is her father's diary entries in that chest. So I feel like maybe Susato snooped through that chest at one point, and that's why this is awkward. That is the only, like, I don't even feel like that's it. That is just the only thread I can draw from this that makes it this awkward.
The manuscript that Iris wrote and the log that was based off of are in the pawnbrokery.
Okay.
So it's weird that she knows it and she won't tell anyone, and that's what's going on.
Alright.
That's all you got.
Well, like Gina, I don't know what all this was about really, but it's a story you made up, is it, Iris? This mental script or whatever you call it. It's not exactly a story I made up. It's something I read in Daddy's diaries. Daddy's? That's right. I don't suppose I've mentioned it to you before, Ginny, but my daddy was Hurley's assistant once, his partner.
What?
They solved all sorts of strange and mysterious cases together. Is that right, mister?
Apparently so. I was surprised as you are, though.
And Daddy wrote all the details of every single case down, you see, in his diaries. So I study them and write my stories based on what actually happened. So, where's your old man now, then? He had to go away on urgent business to a faraway land, and he'll be gone a very long time.
Oh god, she knows, doesn't she?
So I've never really met him.
And you never will, damn.
Oh, right.
Fucked up.
Fuck. Come to think of it. That's
We got Echo.
It's Echo when Who talks. I don't know anything about Gina's parents either. Perhaps we should ask.
Nick, hit me with an Igarum. Ma. Kristen.
Ma.
Ma is the worst for me and Nick.
I'm gonna turn the dials down just a little bit.
Hopefully, but it's not on Kristen as much. Nice. I'm good then.
Okay. Okay, I changed the dials a bit. Let me know if it's still going on.
Yeehaw.
I don't know anything about Gina's parents either. Perhaps we should ask her.
Perhaps we should just talk about all of our parents in great detail
It's trauma
tonight.
time.
Trauma dump. Trauma dump.
Alrighty. Here we go.
Iris, this Hound of the Baskervilles story. Take it that it's another tale inspired by your father's accounts?
That's right. I thought it was fascinating. But it's different somehow. From the other cases, I mean.
How?
I don't really know, but it must be special in some way. Because after I'd written it and I showed the manuscript to Hurley, he turned as white as a sheet. It was the first time I'd ever seen him like that. I'd ever seen him like that.
Pains me to have to say this to you after you've toiled over it for so long, Iris, but this story must not be published at this time under any circumstances.
But why not? It's one of my best works.
I'm not at liberty to say, not now, so please do not ask.
Alright then. I won't.
But I do solemnly swear that I will explain everything one day, Iris, when the time is right.
And that's how the manuscript came to be with Mr. Windibank, isn't it?
Yes. Hurley said that I had to be somewhere very safe. That really gets my goat, it does. He's treating you like a child. It's mean, that's what it is. Keeping secrets like that.
Sure, Mr. Sholmes isn't trying to be mean.
Eh?
He said he wasn't at liberty to talk about it. I'm sure there must have been a very good reason.
Alright. British lady or French lady, I can't fucking remember, Mrs. Swan that
Yeah.
killed Mr. Wilson, was clearly in on some weird secret society bullshit on top of just being British. That sounds really fucking funny when I say it out loud. He's treating you like a child, fellow child.
Hmm.
I think whatever this Hounds of Baskervilles.
Yeah.
I think maybe this is when they first stumbled into that shit, and I guess that can't be public, maybe, because it is secret. That is the only thing I can think of from what we know, but it could also just be entirely based on something we don't know yet.
Based off of what you know so far, it's not a bad guess.
I think so too. You are too trusting for your own good, but you can't pull the wool over my eyes. I have no wool to pull. Holmes is lying to Iris. I bet my life on it.
This is still game one.
This is final act of game one.
Like after this is the second game. What?
Hurley is lying to me? Hurley's lying to you.
I thought Sholmes was gonna be like
Oh
on
my
the walls
God.
again.
On the ceiling.
All right. Hey, Gina. Let's talk about your parents.
I realized I don't know anything about your parents, Gene.
I ain't got any, have I? Never did have. Oh. Look, the East End's full of orphans like me. No one wants nothing to do with us from the minute we're born, not even our mums. But we all stick together. The older ones look after the youngins and make sure they get by. So that's why you're a pickpocket.
Like, no, I just like that.
Nah,
Oh.
dive into my life. I love it.
Perfect.
I get a kick out of it every time I lift some pompous idiot's purse. And that's all we afford to eat. Even like Robin Hood, ain't I? That's how I see it. Oh, Gina. I do think about it sometimes. What it'd be like to have parents, I mean. I always thought it'd make everything right. But having listened to what Iris just said, it sounds like having parents ain't all that easy either. Oh.
Let Ryunosuke and Susato be your parents.
I mean, if you know you never had them, you don't feel like you're always wanting to meet them. It's true. Damn, Iris and Gina are literally like Naruto and Sasuke. Iris never had parents. Or, oh god. I don't know. They're both.
I understand.
Oh god. Like, I have those connections. I don't remember. I do want to see Daddy so much.
I want to see the fan art.
Yep. Oh, Iris. Iris becomes the 8th Hokage. Alright. What's Sholmes lying about?
Gina, what did you mean when you said that you know Mr. Sholmes is lying to Iris?
Well, he reckons he potted the manuscript or whatever, right? Come on, that's obviously a load of rubbish. Oh my, why would you think that, Gina? It's simple. If the story was really an old Windibank storeroom, there's no way someone from halfway around the world, in other words, you, could know about it.
Ooh.
Sorry, Iris, but if you ask me, he sold it. Without telling you. But Hurley would never do something like that. I'm sure of it. Grown-ups do a lot worse than that. Believe me, bare-faced liars, a lot of them. You just ain't realized it yet. I'm telling ya, that mantle script ain't at Windibank's. You'd seen it if you'd look. Even if you think you can trust him, I don't. That Sholmes is a liar like the rest of them. If I'm honest, I have wondered if Hurley's telling me the truth sometimes. Oh, but I don't mean that I think he sold it. I mean that I sometimes wonder if he might have hidden my manuscript somewhere. Somewhere I don't know. Even though it's wrong of me to doubt him.
Don't be too hard on yourself, Iris.
Oh my goodness, look at the time. We drank this whole pot of tea together. Come along, Ginny, let's go back downstairs. Yeah, alright. And please, don't mention any of this to Hurley, will you?
No, of course not. Good night then, Iris. Night, Gina.
As Sholmes suctions down like a spider from the side of the wall.
You must let me make breakfast for you tomorrow morning. I insist. Oh, yes, please. I can't wait, Susie. I wonder if Susie's going to be able to make that breakfast. Good night, then!
All the carriages you've always gather in a small room and talk about their trauma for 3 Iris, it sure is easy to forget, isn't it? Sometimes she speaks just like an adult, but deep down, she's still just a child.
Now the real question is Susato about to collect a fucking death flag?
Well, I think it's time I turn in for the night too, Naruhodo-san. Oyasumi Nasai.
Yeah. Dr. John H. Wilson, Iris's father, but also the name of the murdered visiting professor at the university. It can't be a coincidence. Something deeper.
Mr. Naruhodo. Mr. Naruhodo.
That voice. It's Mr. Sholmes? What's going on? Middle of the night.
It's Miss Lestrade. She's gone.
Nina?
We're supposed to be sleeping in Iris's room, but her bed is empty.
Oh, he's an independent young. Probably decided to go home, no?
think not. From speaking to her before she retired, I received the distinct impression that she was looking forward to breakfasting with Miss Susato. No, I don't believe the girl has gone home, but I've been waiting for over an hour now.
Over now.
If you'll indulge me, look out of the window, my dear fellow.
What's this about? Wait a minute. Why is there light on it this time?
Mr. Windibake's pawnbrokery.
Windibanks.
I don't like this music.
Oh no.
Where's Susato? Where's Gina? Don't fucking do this to
It's
me.
simple. If that story really was an old Winnebank storeroom, there's no way starting from halfway around the world. In other words, you can know about it.
Gina's not about to fucking die trying to get this for Iris, is she?
Sorry, Iris, but if you ask me, he sold it. Without telling you.
You got me fucked up.
Would Gina have gone?
Seems you have some knowledge of the situation, Mr. Naruhodo.
Sorry? Oh, no, not really.
Anyway, we must investigate. At once.
At once!
Miss Susato.
Let's go!
Okay, Susato's fine. Gina, you better not be the fucking murder victim.
Baker Street.
Oh no.
The door to Windibanks. It's open.
It's the murder music.
And the lamp is burning.
Must be Gina, mustn't it?
Okay.
All
no,
right.
this is fine. Mr. Windibank's dead. He shot himself. He finally did it. But Gina's gonna get framed for it.
Yeah.
It's fine. That's totally what's gonna happen.
Yep, Gina's gonna get
fine.
framed.
That's the fine scenario.
That's the fine scenario. Man in uniform.
Let us hope it's nothing more sinister.
Yeah.
What?
There's not a moment to lose. Clearly something is afoot inside.
There's no way.
Oh, God.
Oh God.
Look at the calendar.
Oh my God.
Oh yes. There is.
Mr. Sholmes! Mr. Sholmes!
You gotta be
What the?
fucking
Mr.
kidding me.
Shulm's been shot?
Leave me, Mr. Naruhodo.
But,
After them, go.
Uh-oh.
right.
Oh, no, 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 no.
Actual fuck.
Blast. I've lost them.
Hello, what have we here? The alarm was raised from this pawnbroker, sir. Would you know something about that?
Officer, come with me. It's my friend, Mr. Shulms. He's been shot.
Shot.
The policeman close behind me. I ran back to Windibanks.
Oh, no.
You've got to be fucking joking.
ホームズさん
なるほど様。
Where's the gun wound?
大丈夫ですか僕は大丈夫だ心配ないそれよりもあの扉の向こうだ早く
Where's the fucking Bobby? Hello?
Uh-oh.
Where's
Mutmo.
Bobby?
Where the fuck is
Where
Bobby?
the fuck is Bobby? Take this door down.
Alright, so two fucking nutcracker silhouettes shot Sherlock Holmes. Gina's gonna get fucking framed for it because Mr. Windibaker?
Yeah, Windibank.
Windibank, he's fucking dead.
The smaller guy looked like the fella that died.
Can't wait for y'all to meet Rock looking at Air House. I can't comprehend with my brain what that means, but I also can't wait.
The little instant play. The little men.
I wish they had showed the silhouette again. I mean, obviously, I know why they like can't, but like,
Went by real quick.
I had like half a fucking second to comprehend.
Oh yeah, and I bet the other guy's that rich dude from earlier.
With the tall one?
Yeah. Uh-oh. What's in Gina's hand?
Gun.
It's a gun!
Whoa.
From that moment, Windibank's pawnbrokery became a crime scene. Everything that followed happened in a whirlwind of activity. The arrival of the police, the preliminary investigation of the scene, and the question. It was just before dawn before I was allowed back to my lodgings at 1B.
Time for breakfast.
Hey guys, ready for breakfast?
Wakey, wakey, eggs and bakey.
Oh.
Oh, Iris!
A telegram came, but all it said was wait at home.
Oh, yeah, we asked one of the policemen to have it sent. It was simply impossible to come back.
When I woke up, I was all alone. Hurley and Ginny were gone. Everyone was gone. What happened, Bruno?
Iris, trembling. Obviously, trying very hard not to let herself get too worked. I'll explain everything that I know.
Something awful has happened, hasn't it?
Yeah, I'm afraid so.
Gosh.
Yeah, there's a lot of a lot of moving parts in this case.
Have you ever seen this?
Would you mind if I showed you this, Iris? It's just a boring old thing, really, but...
Yeah, let's do it. Actually, no, I don't like boring things.
Japanese modesty is easily misinterpreted by Western children.
I mean, who does like boring things? No one wants to be shown something boring. Dang, you always introduce things with, this is boring, but it's a bad habit and you just stop.
I'll be sure to let the entire population of the Empire of Japan know on my return.
Alright, that just a way to lighten the mood. You know.
Smile again.
Well, so sorry to tell you this, Iris, but the Windibank is dead. Shot. We discovered it in the early hours of the morning.
Oh. Yeah, I had a feeling.
You did?
When I saw all of the police carriages pulling up outside the shop, so I knew something must have happened there.
When we entered Mr. Windibank's in the small hours, we disturbed a gang of 2 thugs. They ran out onto the street, I chased after them, but they got away.
So it was one of them who shot old Windibank. Old Mr. Windibank, I suppose.
I don't know, but that's not what the police believe at the moment.
Oh. Why not?
They've arrested someone else as their prime suspect, you see. Gina.
Ginny? But why?
Well, thing is...
Nope, she wouldn't do something like that.
I know. None of us think she did it.
So why have they arrested her?
I'm sorry. There was nothing I could do.
Yeehaw!
You know who we haven't seen in a hot fucking minute?
Kazuma?
Okay, fuck you.
Damn!
I can't remember his damn name. Mr. Policeman, you do his voice. He talks like a smoker. He talks
Oh,
like he's
yeah.
fucking smoked a million.
Smoker that ate 10...
Hosonaga.
Hosonaga.
He went back to Japan.
Tell him to come back.
It's come
Tell him
back.
to come the fuck back. I want to see him again.
It's not fair that they arrested Ginny. What about the 2 thugs? Why aren't they the suspect? After all, they shot Hurley dead, didn't they?
No, I mean, Mr. Sholmes isn't dead, Iris.
Ugh, this is all so horrible.
Thing is, Mr. Windibank was found on the storeroom where he kept all the deposited articles. And and the storeroom door was locked from the inside.
I see.
But he wasn't alone in there. Tina was found next to him on the floor as well.
Oh no.
And according to the detectives who investigated afterwards,
Don't tell me. There was no one else in the room.
yeah, exactly. How did you know?
It's the only explanation.
Yeah, the only explanation indeed.
What do you mean by that, Runo? Well,
What can I say? I'm damned if I agree, damned if I don't.
so where's Hurley then? Is he still there investigating the scene? He really ought to have some breakfast. It's not good for him to miss meals.
I don't want you to worry, Iris, but I have some news about Mr.
Iris, if you had $1 for every dad you had that's been shot, you'd have $2, which is not a lot, but it's real fucked up that that's happened twice to you.
Yeah. He was taken to a hospital this morning.
What?
Well, when we entered Mr. Windibank's, a gun was fired, and he took a bullet.
Hurley was shot? No. No.
It's alright, his life isn't in danger.
Really? Are you sure? Where is he? Which hospital?
He's at St. Sinners. They're tending to him there.
Saint sinner.
I must see him at once.
I'm sorry, Iris, but you can't.
Why not? That's not fair either. I'm a family member of his.
No, I mean, nobody can see him at the moment. Invisible. Not allowed any visitors. They're preparing to operate, you see.
They went to operate and
They're gonna play Operation on my man?
they found bloody plunger marks on the roof and no one's seen them since.
Oh, holy. Injured Sholmes!
It was the two thugs that were in Mr. Windibank's shop. They shot Mr. Sholmes when we disturbed them, you see. It was pitch black inside the shop at the time. My mind went totally blank, I'm afraid. It just froze.
Go, go, go.
After that, I ran out into the street, but, well, they were long gone. Shouldn't have hesitated. I'm so sorry, it's my fault. I let them get away.
I think that's a very good thing.
Sorry?
Well, if you'd seen which way they went and chased after them, you might have been shot at as well, Runo. On top of everything else, I couldn't bear that. Talk about Susato. Where's Susie, Runo?
Still at the police station.
Oh, why?
I expect she's still being questioned. The police said they wouldn't be finished for a while.
Why aren't you there then?
Well, I didn't get a good look at the criminals anyway, so they weren't questioning me for long. Miss Susato stayed behind at the scene to attend to Mr. Sholmes, so they didn't get started until later.
Ah, I see.
Besides, one of us had to come back to be with Iris. Glad Inspector Gregson agreed me leaving early.
I wonder if Susato has to go to the thing that she was summoned for as well. So we're probably not going to see her for a hot minute then.
Yeah. Not until she's punished, Susato.
You should have let me know, and I would have come to the station.
There's a character that gets the punished treatment in the...
In the Great Ace Attorney or in...
No, in the regular. I'm afraid I need to go out now again, Iris. There's not much I can do at the moment. But I can at least try to find out how Mr. Sholmes and Gina are getting on.
Is it punished pain?
Oh, I wish. They do something insane with Pain, but, like, I can't say a word.
Okay,
They do something fucking nuts with him.
I'm coming too. I can't stand sitting around here waiting.
Not sure how I feel about taking a 10-year-old child to the scene of a murder. I
What?
don't wanna leave her alone here after all either. Alright then, Iris. Perhaps you can help me?
Hey, yo.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Gina's at the prison, Sholmes is in the hospital bed.
Are we gonna get one of the, like, airlock Sholmes spinny deductions, but with Iris?
They get a bit more freeform with those as it goes on.
Okay, okay.
Hey, Nick, do
Yeah.
you think you could close the
Yeah,
window
the sun just
halfway? Yeah.
Through.
And we have to visit the crime scene. I want to see where Hurley was shot.
Woo!
I imagine Iris would be appreciate going to the hospital sooner rather than later.
All right, guess what, y'all? Going to the hospital. Nope, no, we're not. We're going downstairs first. And then we'll go to the
You
hospital.
gotta go in the proper order, like in the first Ace Attorney. Things are connected in a very specific.
Wow.
I'm glad they don't do that anymore.
Hurley! Oh. He's not here.
No, that's strange. The nurse definitely said he was in the bed by the window, didn't she?
Oh, I know what's probably happened. Hurley was being a big baby, and the bullet wound wasn't that bad after all, so he's been sent home.
I'm not so sure about that, baby or not. No question that it was a fairly serious injury that Mr. Sholmes suffered.
Oh.
Hello, what have we? This ward's off limits, no visitings. What are you doing in here, eh?
Well, I'll have you know, we're Hurley's next of kin.
Eh? Oh, well, begging your pardon then, ma'am, sir. Little lady and a curious Eastern gentleman. The great mystery solvers has a mysterious family, eh?
That's how you see us. Sure.
Where is he, Constable? Where's Hurley?
Believe he's currently in the operating theater, ma'am, undergoing an extensive operation.
Extensive?
It's been several hours since he went in.
Oh dear. Is he gonna be alright?
It doesn't appear to be working, you see?
No!
The anesthetic, that is.
Oh no!
I've read a report that the gentleman claims he may have had a little too much to drink last night. Coffee, that is.
Oh.
It would be fair to assume he won't be back here for several hours yet.
I see. Thank you, Constable. Perhaps we should leave and come back later.
Oh, poor Hurley.
Damn. Old boy's awake getting sliced up.
Neat. Sucks. Thank you. Cell 13.
Hello, Gina.
Hello, Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
What
The fuck do you want?
did you get to keep that?
Gun.
Oh, you still have the grenade launcher Hurley and I made.
I wish she wouldn't point it at me all the time, though.
What are you here for? Jenny.
I have a feeling it's because of us that you've ended up in trouble. We were thinking that we might be able to help you.
Well, you can't.
Sorry.
Keyword, get lost. Don't be like that, Jenny. I know you didn't do it. You'd never shoot someone. I just know you wouldn't. You think you know me? Pull the other one. Oh. You ain't got the first idea about the likes of me. I'm a thief. I pinch people's purses when they're walking down the street. That's how I get by. And if I saw me chance, I sneak into a pawn shop any day of the week. Just to see what I could lay me hands on. Get it? That's the kind of person I am. But Ginny, I'll be in court tomorrow, they said. Some cove came by before and said he'd be a lawyer for me or something like that. Said it was my right or something. But I told him to get stuffed. I don't need no lawyer. I don't need no one.
Wouldn't be staring at me any more obviously if she tried.
Why are you being like this, Jenny? Accept your quit, appointed lawyer, and go on. Did you know? Did you know?
Check it out!
I too am appointed lawyer.
I am a lawyer. You see that?
Would you have a look at a... That's strange. Where'd my armband go?
What's the problem? Something wrong. Don't suppose. You're looking for this.
Yeah. But how? And when? And how again?
I have my ways.
Bordering on black magic. Makes what I was about to say about my armband a little dull.
So what's about it? Legal representation.
I don't understand, Gina. Why did you send the public defender away?
He wanted me to sign some papers, representation papers, or something like that. It's all gonna be rigged anyway. The whole trial. They'll pin it on me because I'm a kid, and what grown-ups always do. Why do you think that? Because that's how it always been for me, growing up in the back slums, me whole life. If you do what grown-ups tell you, it'll get your mates dragged off by the coppers or worse. I've had it happen to me before and all. Been sold out and nearly snaffled on the back of it. That said snaffled, right?
Snaffled.
You can't trust no one. That's the point. As soon as you do, you're gone to grass. Dead.
Gina, listen. Like, tomorrow's trial, I could...
Forget it. Jenny! Don't you trust Bruno? No, I don't. Look, I'll ask you nicely now. Just leave me alone.
Will you tell us what happened, Gina? Tonight at the pawnbroker's?
There's nothing to tell. I figured he'd pay me, so I broke into the place and started going through the storeroom. But the old bloke walked in on me and you know the rest. But why, Jenny? Why would you do that? Ain't it obvious? The place is full of stuff I could sell for a shilling or two. Diving ain't easy, you know? It's a lot of work, and half the time you don't even get nothing.
Is that really why you broke into the place?
What?
Are you sure the true reason wasn't something else?
Oh, give it a rest. What'd be the point anyway, eh? Nothing I could say to make a blind bit of difference. Please tell us, Jenny. We'll believe you, whatever it is. Believe me. Don't be daft. You can't believe nothing. Everyone lies all the time. And you know what? When it comes to lawyers, I'm the biggest. I've told some unforgivable lies, I have. What do you mean by that? What unforgivable lies have you told, Gina? Of your unforgivable lie. No, it doesn't work.
Trying to make it fit.
I tried.
What did you mean before, Gina, when you said that you were the biggest liar of the lot? Why don't you tell us about these unforgivable lies you told? Maybe we can help.
Sorry. We're out of time. They're gonna want to question me now. Jenny, please. Oh, yeah. I wanted to give you this. Something to remember me by. The picture
Whoa.
of Kitties in the snow.
Photographic print of a really adorable cat.
I found it on one of the pockets of the coat. Ain't no point in me having it. I wonder what a little photograph like that was doing in the pocket of that overcoat. Anyway, don't bother coming again. Bye. Oh, Ginny. Alrighty. Good talk. This place is kind of dark and damp. I want to get the hell out of here. Alright. Outside. Let's find ourselves a man with a bag of fries in his pocket. Oh!
Why was that so intimidating?
This is the room where it happened last night.
That's right. The thugs I told you were about. The two thugs I told you about were obviously ransacking the place looking for valuables.
But apart from the policeman in here, you wouldn't know anything had happened. There's no sign of a disturbance.
No, right, you're that about actually.
Not even though there's broken glass, there's the bloody calendar. You're blind.
And it looks like the police are the ones doing the ransacking.
You know what you mean? They're like a gang of organized criminals all dressed in black.
Damn.
Oi, I heard that. Oh, I heard that.
Inspector, good morning.
I suppose I had to thank you for your vigilance last night. We got to the scene before it was disturbed, at least. Shame to let the two rogues get away, mind.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
I thought you'd assign extra men to beat around here, Greg Z. Now look what's happened. Hurley's been injured and there weren't enough police on duty.
Ah! Your ladyship? No one told me you were coming.
I expect you to take full responsibility for what happened to Hurley and see he has the very best medical care.
Of course, your ladyship. The very best doctors in the capital attended to him as we speak.
And I don't think it's Runo's fault that the roads managed to get away, is it? Facing criminals is the police's job.
Absolutely, your ladyship. As you say, ma'am. As you say.
Oh my god.
The gent in black is totally blameless. Everyone's in agreement about that.
You believe it? Like a completely different person with virus. Like a personality change.
Oh, where are me manners? Are you thirsty, your ladyship? Perhaps you'd like some juice? Some nice, refreshing fruit juice?
Oh, why? Are you thirsty, Gregsy? I'll have some of my special herbal tea with me. If you'd like some. Oh!
Ah, lovely. So very much that really hit the spot, your ladyship.
I don't even recognize him like this.
What's up, dude?
What's up, dude?
Hey, what's up?
Sip, sip.
How's the investigation going, Inspector?
Nothing to it, really. Very simple case, this. There's some very definitive evidence. Just about to charge that diver we arrested last night, in fact.
Gina? Gonna charge her?
That's right. Should be able to bring her back before the judge at the Bailey tomorrow.
Definitive evidence, you say? What is it? Come on, show me.
Your ladyship, as much as I wish I could oblige you, I'm afraid.
Ah, I see. You've already captured the pair of thugs who broke in here last night, haven't you?
What the?
And you're going to put them on the stand as witnesses, aren't you?
How? How could you? How?
Why the fuck would you do that?
How could you possibly know that?
What the actual fuck?
Huh.
I don't like this. I had a feeling, that's all.
I mean to never try to keep Iris. They've arrested the two men who shot Mr. Sholmes, have you?
Well, yes. They were rounded up pretty quickly by the lads on the beat.
Miss Lestrade is being held at the prison?
She should be. Someone tried and lifted the key from the jailer, of course. Can
you tell us anything about Mr. Sholmes? What's his condition?
Sorry, I'm not at liberty to divulge that information. Scotland Yard matters are strictly confidential.
Well, I know he's being operated on at St. Sinners. Why can't I see him? I'm family, you know.
I'm terribly sorry, your ladyship. It's the hospital's policy, no visiting at all.
Oh.
The bullet must have hit an artery in his midriff. He's lost a fair bit of blood.
Oh no.
Didn't seem too bad in the first hour or so. But a hemorrhage like that is enough to make even the one and only Sholmes pipe down.
Mr. Shaw.
Mr. Sholmes is a human like the rest of us, you know.
Well, anyway, he's having emergency surgery right now. Gotta stop that bleeding.
But he will be alright, won't he? He'll be able to make him better.
Oh, of course, your ladyship. He'll be right as rain before you know it.
Really? How do you know?
How do I know? Well, because, of course. Ah, yes, because Mr. Sholmes is such a great detective, that's why.
You better pray the doctors have a better grasp of what's needed to make someone well again.
Oh dear. Please don't die, Hurley.
I'll report to your ladyship the moment I hear he's out of the operating theater.
Alright, let's talk about the ladyship stuff.
I couldn't help noticing, Inspector.
What? Out with it, sunshine.
Well, there seems to be a marked difference between the way you talk to me and Iris.
Watch the sauce, Sonny. I'm a copper, and we don't go for favoritism.
But he's right, you do treat us differently.
Because of those Adventures of Arlock Sholmes stories, that's why.
Oh.
I crop up in them, don't I, Inspector Tobias Gregson?
Oh, well, yes, because you're an acquaintance of Hurley's.
Did you write about the Inspector, Iris?
I don't remember, really.
It's one of Sholmes' lines. Gregson's is the smartest of the Scotland Yarders, is how he put it.
Oh, did I write that?
And you know what that one line did for me, eh? The very next month, my pay doubled. Doubled, I tell you.
Oh, that's amazing.
All because everyone at the yard reads them. They read all the Arlock Sholmes stories. They've even set up a fan club for me.
Of course, that explains everything. It was around that time you became such a toady to me.
Can you blame me? All it'd take is one bad word from you and Sholmes could change his tune about me. Gregson? No, the great detective will say he's getting quite overrated these days. Think what would happen to my salary if that came out in print, eh? The whole thing gives me the willies. I can't tell you how many nights of sleep I've lost to worrying about it.
But that would never happen, Gracie.
Every month when the new Rants magazine comes out, my hands are trembling as I turn the pages.
Oh, how awful for you. Here, have some tea to settle your nerves.
Ah, lovely. Why is it top very much? I really hit the spot, your ladyship.
Teetotal. Teetody.
Oh yeah, there's something I was supposed to talk to you about, Mr. Naruhodo.
What is it?
Got an important message for you. I clean forgot about it until now.
What a message. I wonder what it could be.
Important message?
Are you going to tell me what this important message is then, Inspector?
Yeah, it's about that young lady who's normally by your side, your assistant.
Dear Susie, is she alright?
She died in a separate, even more tragic murder.
She's at the station, isn't she? Being questioned, I believe.
Nope.
Not anymore, she had to head off.
Head off. Where?
Lord Strongheart's office, of course, he summoned her.
Oh yeah. I'd forgotten about that.
One of the whipstocks took her there in a yard carriage after we'd finished questioning her. She asked us to tell you she didn't have the fare for the return journey and to go and meet her there. Oh, clever, clever, clever. She's got a nerve using Scotland Yard as a bloomin' messaging service.
I see. Well, thank you for passing that on, Inspector.
Why had Susie have to go see the Lord Chief Justice?
You didn't tell me. But I'd better head over to the Lord Chief Justice's office to fetch her straight away.
Sounds like we're gonna go to the Lord Chief Justice's office.
Wow.
It is like 5:40. Okay.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought it was about to be like 8.
No.
Oh,
no.
Yes. No matter how many times I come here, I always get the same sense of oppressiveness somehow.
Do you think the place is oppressive? I think it's normal.
So,
I mean, look at that suit of armor over there. You can't take that seriously, can you?
maybe it thinks the same about you.
Everything is clear with regards to tomorrow's arrangements, I trust.
Yes, thank you very much.
Oh god.
Good guess. There they are, Susato-san and Lord Strongheart.
I wonder what they're talking about. They're both looking very serious.
Very good. There's nothing further to discuss. You may return to your lodgings. No doubt you have much to do in preparation for your return to your homeland. Oh. Ripperoonie.
Oh no, Spaghetti-O.
Wait, what did he just say? Your return to your homeland? No, Susato-san.
Oh.
Mr. Naruhodo.
What was that all about?
Mr. Naruhodo, thank you for coming to collect your colleague.
What's all this about? Why were you talking about Miss Susato's return to her homeland? And tomorrow?
Just
Tomorrow?
Do you need a lozenge?
But what about Jenny's trial? But what about Zach's lodgings?
What about my lodgings?
I'm gonna wait for your lodgings. So I'm gonna wipe down my glasses because they're fucking nasty.
Excellent.
They really sent Susato home. Huh.
Yep,
Fucked up.
something fucky's happening here. I'm not liking it. And they gave Iris these eyes where they kind of like shimmer almost with tears, but not really.
Mm-hmm.
And it kills me.
God bless you, my lord. God bless you. Oh, it's... Lemon.
You like the lemon drop?
But what about Jenny's trial? You mean he's been formally charged now? Oh dear. So Susato. Let's talk about going home.
Miss Susato, let's talk about going home.
Oh. Don't concern yourself. It's just me who is going home. Your life here can continue just as it...
That's not what I asked. What's happened? Why are you leaving?
It's my father. He's fallen ill. Oh no!
Professor Mikotoba?
Oh.
Yeah, sorry. I don't remember. Yes, yes.
Yup.
Meet you. I remember you.
I'm Eugene Mikitoba. I'm a professor of forensic medicine at Yume University.
You may.
Received an international telegram from the Empire of Japan informing us of the news.
10 days ago, father collapsed with a fever. The cause is apparently unknown. It seems he grows weaker day by day.
I can't believe it.
As you are aware, the voyage from here to your country's capital, Tokyo, takes some 50 days. But it would be prudent to hasten Miss Susato's departure as much as possible.
Absolutely.
I will leave London first thing tomorrow morning.
I can't believe this is happening.
Regina has been charged. They'll have to appear in court.
Yes, he was formally charged a few hours ago. And the date of the trial has been set for tomorrow.
No, not even 24 hours later?
Gina, the Lestrade girl and the murder of the Baker Street pawnbroker, yes.
You can't say that.
All too transpicious case. The pickpocket was clearly disturbed mid-robbery and shot the man in a panic. No, the yard is overstretched as it is without wasting time on these open and shut cases.
Yikes. It's not wasting time. Jenny would never do something like that.
Mr. Naruhodo,
Yes, Lord Strongheart.
in deference of your fine services to date, I shall overlook this young girl's insolence. I have no recollection of admitting a child into my office. Leave now.
Yikes. Of course, Lord Strongheart.
Criminals will tell the most palpable lies in order to evade justice. Police can ill afford the time it takes to unravel all their untruths. Meanwhile, more crimes are perpetrated. There are far more serious matters with which to contend.
Serious matters? Didn't Gregson mention something like that yesterday?
Yes. Dr. Gregson made a similar remark yesterday.
It's no concern of yours, though I'm sure I need not remind you of that. Whatever case he's involved in for whatever fucking scheme he's been fucking crock-potting up, it's gonna be absolutely batshit crazy.
Yeah.
Slow boil.
3 minutes precisely until my next meeting. You must excuse me.
There's just one more thing, Lord Strongheart.
Oh.
Which is?
Miss Lestrade's trial. Trial. I will give you my permanent need to defend her.
A timely suggestion.
Sorry.
Girl currently has no representation.
But that's not fair. Yeah, she may be a pickpocket, but she still deserves a fair trial.
I thought I fucking kicked you out. Do not understand me. Do not misunderstand me, young lady. The government provides for those too poor to afford representation with the public defender. The accused need only sign the relevant paperwork, and a defense barrister will be assigned to the case. Look at this cane. However, the young girl in question has refused that right.
Why would she do that?
Question you would do well to direct at Miss Lestrade. Find her at the local prison, where prisoners are kept.
Yes, thank you. Go see the prisoner.
Now then, it's time. I was leaving. Good day to you.
What a day. In charge of murder, Susato-san about to leave.
Chon's got shot too. Don't
Yup.
fucking forget to mention that.
The anesthetic doesn't work.
Come, Mr. Naruhodo. Iris, we must make haste.
Is that a real thing? Like, if you drink too much coffee, anesthetic won't work? Is that like
believe
an old thing? It's scary.
I don't know.
That is terrifying.
Well, Thuthi,
I'd be fucked.
you're leaving for Japan tomorrow morning, aren't you? Don't you have packing and things to do? As Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant, my personal circumstances are of no consequence. My sole purpose remains to help you in whatever way I can.
Thank you, Miss Susato. That's a very pensive look.
I think we ought to visit Gina first. In any case, I should like to wish her well before I leave.
That specific angle of Iris's head, less so this one,
There's one specific angle of Iris's head where she looks... Her head's too big. It's weird. It weirds me out.
What, like Cabbage Patch Kid?
I guess?
That's a good idea. Let's go.
Jimmy Neutron's got a big head too. If I'm honest, this has completely thrown me off. I have to do what I can as a lawyer.
Whoa, we're playing a game about that.
Interesting. Let's go to jail. Again.
Prison again.
Hey, Gina, you know what'll cheer you up? It's Susato. We're gonna bring you some breakfast. Maybe not.
Hello again, Gina.
Here we go again.
What you come here for?
We have the muzzle of the grenade launcher shoved in our faces yet again.
Obviously. I think I need to improve the way you load ammunition to that thing, don't I? Look! You can come as many times as you like, but I ain't got nothing to say to you. What about me? Gina, I wonder if you might hear me out. There's something I'd like to say. What?
What?
I'm sorry to say that I must reluctantly bid you farewell. Eh? Farewell? Tomorrow, I must begin my journey back home to Japan. I fear we may never meet again. Oh, right. I've had the pleasure of meeting so many lovely people here in London. I have so many wonderful memories. And yet, as things stand now, it will be a glum parting indeed. Poor Iris is so miserable. Susie, I am so miserable. Well, that ain't my business. Both Iris and Mr. Naruhodo believe you to be innocent, Gina. They've put their faith in you. But somehow you can't find it in your heart to put your faith in them. Yeah, that's right. I can't. What of it? It grieves me greatly to have to say goodbye to my friends when they are clearly so unhappy. Because of you. What? It's my fault? Yep. So I have one final request, Gina, before our paths never cross again. Right here and now, I want you to show both of them that you don't deserve the faith they've invested in you. Eh? Only by doing that will you truly be as alone as you claim to be.
Damn, that's deep. Susan.
What are you talking about? What do you expect me to do, eh? You told us that everyone lies. So prove it by admitting one of your own untruths. What about what you said before, Ginny? You said something about unforgivable lies. You must tell Mr. Naruhodo and Iris the truth now. That is my last request before I leave. My last request as a judicial assistant. No, I can't.
Whatever these lies are, they're obviously weighing very heavily on Gina's mind. I could be wrong, but is it something to do with what happened 2 months ago? Something about that trial? The one in which Magnus McGilded was acquitted? The case of that mysterious murder took place inside of the omnibus. You were called as a witness by the prosecution. Is this what that is about?
Yeah, you're right. Because in that trial, I lied. I lied like you wouldn't believe.
No.
No. Will you tell us about it now?
Oh boy, here we go.
Have that fucking Jotaro stance on point.
Alright. What kind of lies did you tell 2 months ago? Like you said, it all happened 2 months ago. The coppers got a hold of me and shoved me in the witness stand.
And based on your testimony, Mr. McGilded was declared innocent.
Yeah, well, The thing is, I lied about a whole bunch of stuff.
I knew it.
What sort of thing did you lie about? I was hiding under the seat that night. That was the truth. It was pitch black in that little cubby hole. I couldn't see a thing. And then I heard the loud thud, like someone falling on the floor.
And that's when Mr. McGill had discovered you?
Yep. He pulled me out from under the seat and sat me next to the dead man. There weren't much light to see by, but when I looked at me hands, I had blood covered all over them. I was so scared, I couldn't even speak.
Had his blood on your hand? In other words, it was Gina that the witnesses on the roof deck saw through the skylight.
Then Mr. McGill had started asking you questions, I suppose. Who you were, why you were hiding under the seat. Yeah, he did. Only, that's not all.
What do you mean?
I mean, he threatened me.
Threatened you how?
He made me swear about what I'd seen and what I heard. And about what he was going to do after the cope was found dead. He made me swear I wouldn't tell no one any of it. If I did that, he said he'd let me scrap her before the coppers showed up.
Gina, you must tell me what he swore you to secrecy about. What you saw, what you heard, everything.
Oh my god!
Damn, okay.
What you heard, everything.
I want to know what you heard first,
Okay.
just to mix it up.
Because it was...
Because it was so dark under the seat in the cab, I was straining my ears the whole time. After a while, I heard the door and footsteps inside the cabin.
Presumably what... That was Mr. McGilded getting on board.
Nah, not only him. Because I could definitely make out the footsteps of two people. In that case, it would seem unlikely that it was Mr. McGilded and the victim.
Mr. Thrice-fired Mason.
In his testimony during the trial, Mr. McGilded claimed that he slept during the carriage ride.
If I'm in a carriage, I'm taken with a fierce tiredness, and I always succumb to it. Fuck, I'm Willy Wonka, goddammit. Fucking shite.
And your own testimony, Gina, supported his. All I could hear was the Irishman snoring. Yeah, that weren't exactly true. Neither of them was asleep. I could hear him talking the whole time in low voices.
What? What were they talking about?
Sorry, I don't know. The sound of the horses and the wheels was too loud. But that still tells us something. Mr. McGildedick and the victim knew each other.
And Mr. McGilded was lying, as I suspected.
What did you see?
You said Mr. McGilded made you swear not to tell anybody about what you saw, but you were in the pitch-black compartment under the seat the whole time, weren't you?
Yeah, so Mr. McGilded's staying above your head, if I remember correctly. Yeah, that's true, but it was when I heard the thud of the coat hitting the floor, I let out a little scream, see? Couldn't help it. McGilded heard that and dragged me out by the arm, and that's when I saw it. It was on the floor next to the old geezer what had been stabbed. A disc, all bright and shiny. A disc?
You mean...
Yep, that's it. That one with the D took off me at Windbanks.
So the music box disc was there on the floor of the omnibus?
Not for long. McGilded spotted it straight away. He picked it up smartish and stuffed it inside his pocket.
That disc was in the omnibus 2 months ago at the scene of Mr. Mason's murder.
And that bog trotter told me I weren't to mutter a word of it to no one. I knew it weren't going to take long before someone raised the alarm that the bloke had been killed. Yes, you were quite right. The other passengers on the roof deck noticed very quickly. So when the cab came to a stop, McGilda told me to hide under the seat again. I climbed in and waited. And the two, like, Susato puts her book away. Iris turns towards her again, like, oh, do tell. The two covers from the top ran off to get the coppers.
Mr. Fairplay and Mr. First.
Right, and after they'd gone, Mr. McGilda asked the driver to do him a favor.
Need you to do is take this coat of mine and deposit it with a nearby pawnbroker. Are your troubles? Let's see now. I'll give you 10 guineas.
Depot.
A nearby.
Nearby pawnbroker on Baker Street?
Yep, you got it. It was Windibank's. Sakoji snapped up the money, ran off to pop this coat as fast as he could. So then there was no one left in the carriage. McGilda had opened the box under the seat and let me get out of there, but not without conditions. I see. Zach, let's talk about conditions.
Oh boy!
What were Mr. McGilded's conditions? Letting you go free, I mean.
Not telling a soul. Not for anything. About what I saw and what I heard. And there is something else as well.
There's more.
Yeah. This is the most important thing, he said.
I'm after sending the coachman on a little errand for me with some small change in his hand. Now then, did you hear what I asked of him? Did you see anything at all? At all?
He asked him to go pop your weasel. He asked him to pop your weasel, right?
Aye, the fiend's taken me overcoat to deposit with the pawnbrokers hereabouts. I want you, lass, to take the redemption ticket for it. Do you understand?
What? You want me to have the ticket?
That's right. I'll come fetch it from you later. Sometime within the next 2 months. You're to hang on to it until then, is that clear? And whatever you do, don't lose it.
Alright then.
And in case I might happen to be delayed at all or meet an untimely, crispy death, you're to go to the pawn shop Windibank, so it is. And you're to extend the loan after the 2 months is up. If you forget, the article will be forfeited, and any old fiend would come along and buy it.
Yep, but I ain't got that kind of brass.
Here's £5. That should be enough. Do we understand each other, lass? Don't try anything funny now, if you go against me.
Yeah, I get it.
Good. And one more thing. A few days from now, you'll be visited by the police, I've no doubt.
The coppers?
Aye, they'll come asking you to take the stand in court to testify as a witness. So let's just have a wee chat about that, shall we?
Oh my god.
What is it you might say, and what is it that you won't? Oh, I'm an evil little leprechaun. Fuck. What a bastard.
What a bastard. After he'd gone over it all, I picked it. Got as far as picked it. Got as far away from there as I could. He hit the pawnbroker's ticket in some bushes near the scene. I went to fetch it the next day once it got dark.
McGilded planned it and coerced Gina into giving false testimony.
I bet you're ready to string me up, huh? I lied. In that big old courtroom. I told some corkers. The thing is, he said he would make it so he couldn't live in the East End no more. That's what he threatened me with. What a wicked man. He knew everything what went on in the back slums. He knew we had no one to look after us, and we was all just looking out for each other, getting by together. So you mean, Mr. McGilded would have, in an heartbeat, He could have had a lot of us chased out of there if he wanted. And then we would have gone... Where would we... Where could we have gone, eh? Nowhere. That's where. So, I didn't have no choice.
Thank you, Gina, for telling us everything.
But... I'm for it now, eh? Go on, admit it. You must be livid.
Well, you can make amends by doing me a simple favor.
Favor? What?
Sign the representation papers for tomorrow's trial.
Eh?
If you don't actually want me to represent you in court, you can rip it up later. But we need that paperwork or we can't investigate. The police won't let us.
Investigate what?
The scene of the incident last night. Mr. Sholmes was shot, you see.
You what? Hurley's having a big operation right now, Ginny. Is it bad? Is he gonna be alright? Sholmes is gonna be alright, right?
That's why we want to investigate, for Mr. Sholmes' sake as much as anything.
Right. So what you're saying is if I sign the bit of paper, everyone's happy, is that it?
Something like that. Mr. Sato?
Yes, of course. I have the representation papers here. I don't need no one to stick up for me, though. No lawyer or nothing. Poor Ginny. She seems so lonely.
Oh,
Jenny. Well, at least this should mean we can investigate the scene at Windibanks now.
Yep. And perhaps we can come back to visit Ginny when we're done there.
Here we finally cracked Gina. She's opened up to us at last. Now I have representation papers. No one else knows just what a responsibility that is. Anyway, for now it seems Inspector Gregson can't stop us from investigating at Windibanks. Although something tells me he's not going to be happy about it.
Oh my goodness. Why wouldn't he be happy about it?
yeah,
Why?
what the fuck?
Why wouldn't he be happy?
Wouldn't he be happy?
Why wouldn't he be happy?
He gets to eat more infinite chips now, as long as he's spawned.
Because Mr. Gregson's the murderer.
Gregson did it.
Alright.
Done with that?
Yes. Well, I'm just running.
Okay. Do you need coffee?
Nick.
I would like to finish the investigation, and there's only one more part. Why? If you don't want to, that's okay.
I'm okay with it. I was just wondering what we're gonna do for
Oh wait, it was
Mhm.
The-
Zach, would you like to continue?
Yes.
Okay.
We want to do a longer one.
There is one more part to the investigation. This is a long like now the investigation starts. But then after that, it's just trial for the rest of the game.
I vote that at some point during this investigation, we order food, and then when the food gets here, we stop.
I mean, honestly, it'd probably be better just to stop now then.
What do you think, Zach?
Don't play if it's forced. We're on no time limit to beat this.
How long do you think this investigation is going to be?
It's hard to say.
Damn, I usually add an hour to whatever. Fucked up that you just said that.
It's not like particularly long, but I just know that like I'm not gonna give a good estimate at this point.
I don't know what to do.
That means we stop. That means you're afraid to say I want to stop.
Are you okay with that?
Yes.
Okay.
Just say
All right.
say what you're thinking.
I'm coming to the decision as I think.
Have you decided?
Silly. You just put it aside.
Make your only viewer cry, Nick.
Oh no.
What the fuck?
Well, okay. Do you want to keep going then? I don't want to feel like I'm forcing you.
No, I am thinking about it.
Here, let's take a BRB.
Holy shit.
Let's take a fucking BRB and order food.
Sounds good to me.
That sounds.
All right, we'll be right back.
We'll be right back. It's not over.
Whoa.
We're not dead yet.
We're not dead yet.
We ordered pizza. We're gonna play till the pizza's ready, and then we'll figure it out from there.
We all ordered different things from the pizza store. I'm getting chicken.
Getting pasta.
I got a pizza. It's like a it's
All
it's
right.
like a weird
It's like a
pizza.
pizza pasta.
Let's
It's like-
go.
It's like the type of pizza you would order if you were.
I really didn't want to stop playing, so I'm glad that we can continue and also know that in the next 2 hours we will be nourished.
Yeah. Here we are again at the scene of the crime.
Wow, it looks just like it did at 3 a.m. this morning.
Now to thrust these representation papers in Gregson's face and see what he makes of them. Oh, some nice papers. Hello, Inspector. Do you have a minute, please?
No, as a matter of fact. What is it now? You should go home and get some rest.
Hey, Zach, can you hand me that pillow, that green
Smiley.
one?
Oh goodness.
Oh. Thank you so much. Oh. Alrighty. Here you are, Gregsy. Here are the representation papers.
Your ladyship! How? I don't believe it. How the devil did you get that stubborn little ragabash to sign that?
With love and affection.
I salute you. That is good work, that is.
I can see you've been very busy here as well. How about some tea? It's a special blend designed to relieve fatigue. Hey, Nick. I think he wants to jump up. There we go. And I just don't want him to knock over your coffee.
Ah, lovely. Well, let's see now. Yes, I hardly feel tired at all. I'm fit as a fiddle, your ladyship.
Would it be alright if we investigated the scene of the crime then?
Do as you please. You know where it happened, through that door behind the counter.
Yes, the storeroom. That's where I discovered Mr. Windibank. And Gina.
And Gina.
Right, well, getting back to business then.
Will you be investigating in the storeroom as well, Inspector?
If I'm perfectly honest, we need to wrap this up before long. Can't afford to spend too much time on it. There are so many articles to go through, it's taking forever, even with the lads working around the clock.
Aw, Joey, you want to sit on the laptop?
Good.
Cute.
Which is a problem, because there's another case the yard needs to investigate urgently.
Oh, do tell!
The murder of Airlock Sholmes.
That must be what Lord Strongheart meant by far more serious matters.
What I'm saying is, don't get under my feet, sunshine.
Aw, you call me Sunshine. Come then, let's not waste any time.
Good luck.
Suddenly, Bobby's.
Bobby! And Bobby!
Behind that door is the storeroom, isn't it? That's what Gregsy said.
Yes, that's where I saw that dreadful scene last night. With a little window in the door. Mr. Windibank face down on the floor, Gina beside him.
The gun in the ballroom.
As the accused's legal representative, you have the right to examine the scene, Mr. Naruhodo. We must make a thorough investigation.
Of course. And we will. Behind that door, that's the real scene of the crime!
Don't worry, if there are clues in there, I'll find them.
Specialized.
I do want to look at this, though. This has got my attention.
Ah, look here.
Oh yes, a bullet hole. I can see that the bullet is lodged in the wall.
Presumably, Mr. Windibank wasn't practicing with his revolver in his spare time.
Ah, well. Mr. Sholmes likes to practice in his drawing room whenever he can. He's very patriotic like that.
Sorry.
It's all there in the Adventures of Herlock Sholmes, you know. Isn't that right, Iris? Did I write something like that? Partly in jest, perhaps. In jest? Well, he doesn't do it often. It is quite a dangerous pastime.
He doesn't do it often. Shouldn't do it even once.
Forget that for now, Renault. Let's examine this bullet.
What's that around the bullet hole? That blood? A suspicious red stain on the calendar?
Aha, I might be able to help with that.
What?
There's nothing like the sight of blood to get the blood pumping, is there, Runo?
I have a feeling I'm not as bloody-minded as you.
I'm afraid the sight of blood makes my blood run cold. There you have it, you see. When it comes to blood, we're all different types.
What a scientific observation.
So you need this.
Oh no, that's a scary-looking thing.
Really, and I haven't actually come up with a name for it yet. But as soon as you see it in action, you'll understand what it does. Watch. Did she make luminol?
Vented. The color of the bloodstain has changed.
There, doesn't it make sense now?
I think I'm starting to understand.
The Bobby's staring at it like, what the fuck?
Good, it works on the principle that different people have different types of blood, you see. Yes, how wonderful. The chemical it fires combines with the blood and makes it change color, so you can identify whose blood it is that you're looking at in a flash. Okay.
Whose
All
blood is
Iris,
it anyways?
go off!
Let's go, Iris.
Oh, what a fabulous invention, Iris. Isn't it? Isn't it? I bet Jenny would say it's bleeding great.
Whose blood are we looking at then?
Well, all the chemical does is turn the blood to different colors. So, just find someone whose blood turns the same color and you know who it belongs to in a flash.
Cool. More like two flashes, really, isn't it?
You know, we're gonna see a bloodstain that turns that same color at a different crime scene. Like, how could the corpse be in two places?
Oh no.
One flash or two, this could well turn out to be a very valuable clue. So we must make a note of it in our court record. Let's keep testing and adding the results of any other blood analysis toward the portfolio. As long as I have Regent left, sure. Alrighty, and we got this Bobby.
The order is ready for pickup.
Investigate this pawn shop, fellas.
Without you.
Not leave a single stone unturned.
Understood.
Yeah, we'll catch you up.
I expect a full report when I...
Keep it down.
Sorry.
There's a major clue just here. Really? Then we must tell Gregsy at once. But as soon as I report it, that'll be it. I'll be stuck here even longer.
You mean?
I haven't been home in 2 days already. I need another constable to relieve me and take over me shift.
They really have a tough time. The Bobbies.
That doesn't stop us investigating, though, does it?
No, I suppose not. I'm fairly sure it was the calendar he was peering at. It was. Did you put in a name? Because it might be under my name.
It
since
might
was
be
my
a...
app that we used.
Let me see.
I don't know how to check.
We'll just...
Cool.
Like, come here, next. They'll be like, I don't see that. I'm like, guys. Like, ah, it is.
Eat baby Joseph.
Goodbye. Oh, it should be underneath my name.
Where'd you see that?
It's my account.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's my Domino's account. I logged in so we could get points towards a free pizza.
Okay.
That's how we got a free pizza last time.
You're right. Is it this strange contraption that lets you see pictures of things as though they're right in front of your eyes? It makes you think. When Mr. Sholmes gleefully showed it to us yesterday, we were blissfully unaware that any of this was about to happen.
These shelves are where the pawnbroker puts articles that have been forfeited on display for customers to buy.
Yeah, it's a strange miscellany, isn't it? I mean, who would buy this horse statue, for example?
Well, sometimes you can find some real treasures among all the junk, you know. Are you alright, Runo?
It's just, well, it looks like a collection of useless junk as a whole. But when you pick out individual things, you can't help wishing that you own them. Even the horse statue.
That's exactly how the pawnbroker works. They're very clever.
Look, oh, there's a fucking thinker statue.
Oh my god, you're right.
That's gonna kill someone.
It sure is.
The police are scouring every inch of this place by the look of it.
Instructions from the yard are to examine every article in the shop and every ledger of and a book of accounts.
Every article, but that's a ridiculous amount of work, surely.
We've been hard at it ever since the shop was declared a crime scene in the early hours. We're sifling through it all in shifts at least, but still. We'll be working through the night, that's for sure. And even then, we'll barely have scratched the surface.
Crime in a pawnbroker's. It must be every policeman's worst nightmare.
It's every copper's worst nightmare, you know, a crime in their pawnbrokers. That's the music box. Do you have them where you come from, Runo?
Yeah, but I've never seen one as large as this in Japan.
Oh, well, this will be a treat. Shall we have a listen? What do you think? Isn't it a pretty sound?
It's a beautiful sound, yeah, but a little hard to enjoy when all the policemen in the room are giving you fierce looks.
Never mind that. If any of them say anything, I'll tell Gregsy to have a word.
Iris Wilson, Superintendent of Scotland Yard. There's the article ledger there, Mr. Windibank's notes, and... With this, it looks as if someone has left a little photographic print upon it.
Oh, look at the back. There's some writing. Is there? Oh, show us, Susie, show us. 15th February, 10:30 p.m. Article deposited 1 gentleman's overcoat. Loan amount paid £1. Redemption deadline 15 April, 10:30 p.m.
Gentleman's overcoat pawned for £1. Clearly, it was a very fine coat, in fact. I think.
Yep, this must be the ticket for the overcoat that Ginny redeemed yesterday.
You're good. I can't see that. And is still wearing, which belonged to McGilded. I would have never expected the redemption ticket to be handwritten on the back of a photograph, though.
It seems Mr. Windibank just used whatever piece of paper just happened to have in his hand.
This photograph of a cat. Kind of familiar, isn't it? I've seen this exact same picture somewhere else recently.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Very recently. It's the same as the one Ginny gave us earlier.
Of course, I was forgetting that she gave us that print.
Well, what are you waiting for then, Mr. Naruhodo? Get it out!
Alright, let the cogs turn.
Yep, they're exactly the same. Corporate says that there are 7 differences in the 2 photos.
We need you to find them.
Found 2 already.
Did you, actually?
No. What's the last line, Nick?
They're the same picture.
There we go.
Well, if the one on the counter was used as a redemption ticket, perhaps the other photograph that Gina gave us has something similar written on the back, too?
Hehe, I've got it. These 2 photographs hide an amazing secret.
Secret? What does she mean?
You must tell us, Iris, at once. Do you really, really, really want to know?
Yes, we need you to tell us all you know about this pair of photographs. Wait a second. Go to the storeroom if you can. Exactly, be here for that bit if possible.
In the storeroom?
Yeah. Go ahead and do the stuff in there. Poor Iris. She's clammed up completely.
Iris is bound to find this difficult. After all, Mr. Windibank's life was taken in this very room only last night.
Ah! Wait, Inspector. What is it now, Sunshine? You took one look at me and tried to run away. You think a Scotland Yard inspector would run away from some jumped-up little defense lawyer, do you? Well... I've never seen her ladyship looking like that before, is the thing. I didn't know what to say to her. You weren't running away from me, you were running away from a 10-year-old.
I'm afraid this is all a little much for young Iris. Some gentle reassurance might go a long way, perhaps, Inspector.
Eh? Don't trouble yourself unduly, your ladyship. I mean, at least you're not dead, are you? I don't think that went very well.
Nope. You're sad? Well, someone has it worse, you know.
Why? Look, I'm in the middle of an investigation here, Sunshine, and I told you not to get under my feet.
And we have investigating to do ourselves.
Yes. I'd like to hear more of what the socially inept inspector has to say.
Oh, Hurley.
And inquire into how Mr. Sholm's operation is going. Look at all these articles that have been deposited. The room is stuffed full of them.
I can't believe how many there are. A bicycle, a gramophone, musical instruments, even some enormous paintings. Look!
Pieces of different people's lives, quietly gathering dust in here together. Something very peaceful about the atmosphere here. At least there would be, if not the chalk outline on the floor and the policemen shuffling around. Not much I can do about that, Sunshine. Out of all the articles in the storeroom, this is the only thing that shows any sign of being ransacked.
Ah!
What is it, Iris?
That's the box file that my manuscript was being kept in. Oh!
Iris's unpublished story, The Hound of the Baskervilles. Surely that's not what all this...
Sorry, Iris, but if you ask me, he sold it. Without telling you. We must check inside the box at once. Yes. It was there. Iris's story was there.
Really? It was? Well, that's good news, isn't it, Iris?
Yep. I mean, of course, I believed Hurley when he said he deposited it here, but still, it's a relief to actually see it.
Really? It's not a very well-hidden frown. Sorry.
Bless you.
Did I cover up the mic at all? This is the revolver. A real one.
And quite possibly the murder weapon used to take Mr. Windibank's life. What's the matter, Susie? You and Bruno look like you're about to faint. Well, it's just that I rarely see a gun in the flesh.
I've just had issues with guns in the past. But anyway, we saw Mr. Windibank with this yesterday, didn't we?
God!
I shall have to take... Oh, you did.
I shall have to take my own life! Damn, I'm really sad that that he's gone.
It's pretty rare that you see the victim in a case before they die. That doesn't
Right.
happen like 2 or 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
And like, all of the times I can think of in other games, it's usually like an asshole, so you don't get attached to them.
Uh-huh.
But he's kind of fun. When I looked through the spy hole in the door where the storeroom was, that was the same gun I saw in Gina's hand.
Mr. Windibank told us that he only ever had a single bullet loaded in his revolver, didn't he? Well, it's empty now. The one and only bullet he had in his gun has been fired.
We can be fairly certain that only a single shot was fired from this revolver.
How interesting, because we found a bullet in the calendar outside.
Oh, wow! The police have marked the position of the body with a chalk outline.
Poor Mr. Windibank. He was a nice old man.
Well, it shot just once, through the heart. Most likely, the fellow died instantly. He wouldn't have felt a thing. Must be his blood, then.
Ah! I don't like to ask at such a wretched time, Iris, but I wonder if perhaps... Don't worry, Susie. I'm ready for action.
Blue!
So now we know the color the chemical turns when it reacts with Mr. Windibank's blood. And it doesn't match our analysis of the bloodstain we found in the main shop. No, but let's add this sample to the others we've already collected anyway. Blood samples portfolio. I think now I just want to ask Gregson some questions, huh?
Go back to the bloodstain. It didn't have a checklist.
Oh, you're right. Hold on. Yeah, I need to reinspect this.
Iris?
Don't worry, I'm alright. But we must find the true culprit. Yes, absolutely.
It for looking around?
Alright, let's talk to Gregson then.
So, Inspector, what do you make of the crime scene here?
Shaw, you've got eyes, haven't you? Use them. This is what it looks like. Nothing more, nothing less.
Iris, could you lend me a hand?
So, Gregsy, what do you make of the crime scene here?
Oh, yes, your ladyship. Do allow me to humbly explain. Last night, at shortly after the hour of 1 o'clock in the morning, Scotland Yard police attended the scene. The one and only door to this room was found locked from the inside.
It's locked from the inside.
The lock appeared to be broken now, though. What was that the police officers doing?
Quite right, ma'am, quite right. We took the liberty of smashing the door in, as humbly as possible.
Oh.
As you can see, the victim was discovered prostrate on the floor. Thuswise. And next to the aforementioned body, we discovered the vile gutter child.
Are you talking about Ginny? She's my friend, you know, Inspector.
Miss Lestrade, the hapless girl, curled up on the floor, dead to the world.
She's still alive, you know. Yes, when I saw her, she appeared to be unconscious.
And I'm afraid to say, she had the gun that was used in her hand.
No.
Presumably, it's the gun that was still down there on the floor now.
In her pocket, we found the key to the door as well.
What? The key to the storeroom?
And you say that the storeroom had been locked from the inside, Inspector?
Well, correct. All of which would leave her ladyship's great friend in something of a sticky situation, I'm afraid. Obviously, my personal opinion is that it's some sort of misunderstanding.
Obviously.
Of course it is, Inspector. Of course it is.
Gregsy, do you know anything about Hurley? Is the operation finished? Is Hurley all right? Is he?
Well,
Don't mince your words, Inspector. Please. You don't mean to say that Mr. Sholmes is...
No, the operation's done and dusted. It's just that, well...
Out with it!
Yes, ma'am. They used something called a general anesthetic. It's the latest thing, renders the whole body insensitive.
Whole body? Anesthetize? Is that even possible?
It means the operation can be completed while the patient is fast asleep.
Goodness, in the Empire of Japan, we can just manage to provide laughing gas for a tooth extraction.
Trouble is, the latest thing isn't always the greatest thing, if you follow my meaning. They couldn't get the medication to work at first, so it took hours for them to nod off, or so I hear. And now that the off's finished, they can't get them all to wake up, apparently.
Oh my.
No one knows if it's the anesthetic still in the system or if the bloke's just plain exhausted. But anyway, all they can do is stand back and watch until he comes around again.
Hurley.
Moment he opens his eyes, your ladyship, I swear I shall get word to you.
What a surprise, even in matters of life and death, Sholmes appears to have things his way. Yeah, show him something.
Have to show him something.
Oh wait, maybe it's... No, never mind, we don't have it yet.
Am I gonna have it when I go into the other room?
Yeah.
What do we do?
We go.
Alright.
So Iris, about these two photographic prints. The one we found here on Mr. Winbeck's counter and the one Gina gave us before. What is this amazing secret you mentioned that's hidden between these two identical prints? Food's here!
The secret held in between these two identical prints.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yup.
Whoa.
Alrighty. Actually, that's not quite right.
Sorry?
If you look carefully, the two prints aren't the same. Not exactly.
Hold on, Iris, let me look at my pasta.
Alright, so you're caught up, Zach. We found the same kitty print on Mr. Windibank's desk right there, and it had the information about
It had like notes on the back.
Yep, and it had the deposit information for the dead fella's coat.
Interesting.
Then went into the storeroom. And
I guess you need a fork, Nick.
Yeah, there's no fork. I'll go get a fork. You catch Zach up on the rest. I'm gonna get a fork.
Can I also have a fork?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Eat your pasta with.
Let's see. And so it had all like the Windibank checkout information or whatever. What was the last thing you remember? Do you remember Gina being like, okay?
We were looking at the bullet on the.
Yep, bullet on the calendar. We found the bullet in the back room. We remembered that Mr. Windibank only loaded one bullet into his gun. Iris has that luminol spray, kind of. And the blood on the calendar was green. Mr. Windibank's is blue.
Interesting.
Interesting indeed. We also found Iris's manuscript. It was hidden. It was stored here and it had not been sold.
Oh. Wasn't lying.
Nope. They are not the same. Have another look at them now.
Alright, let's see here.
Corporate needs you to find the differences between these images.
Can you see that they're just slightly different from each other?
I think so. It's very subtle.
Cat
Is it in the
looks-
cat?
The cat. Something about the cat's posture is like shifting
Yeah.
on its torso.
Right,
It's
Nick?
very subtle.
But what's the reason for the subtle difference between the two prints? Oh, well, it's because they're a set.
No, I don't.
This pair of photographs is meant to be used in a stereoscope. Everyone in London is raving about them at the moment.
Stereoscope? Why do I feel as though I've heard about that recently?
Oh yes, that's what Mr. Sholmes showed us yesterday. It's over there. You see? There it is, over there.
Ah, yes. There it is. Over there. That magical machine that makes pictures look almost real enough to touch.
Well, actually, it's quite possible to see in the same depth picture. Hold on. It's quite possible to see the same depth in pictures even without one of those contraptions. That was a rough sentence.
Really?
Do you know how a pair of flat photographic prints can appear to have any depth in the first place? Nope, I have no idea. Oh, wonderful. Joey, you are perfectly sitting on the laptop except for your right front paw. Front right paw.
Over the moon, bless her. Should we let her explain, though? We really need to carry on investigating the scene.
I, for one, simply have to know. Have you ever considered, Runo, that you're wrong? How our eyes see depth in the world around us?
I just opened them, and it works.
But the reason it works is because we have two eyes.
2 eyes? Shocking.
If you ever try closing just one eye at a time, I think you'll see straight away. What you see with your left eye, and what you see with your right eye, are ever so slightly different. You get a different view with each eye. Yet the position of objects seems to shift slightly. Exactly, and in your head, your brain uses that shift to estimate depth as it merges the two views into one. That's how we can sense depth in everything we see.
My brain is amazing, isn't it? It's so much without even telling me.
Well, my brain is so big.
My brain is so cool.
Okay, so the pair of photographs consists of a left eye view and a right eye view. Is that right? Oh, well done, Susie. You're so quick.
So if you can persuade your brain to merge the two pictures together in your head, you'd be able to see depth in these prints.
That's right. You're beginning to understand.
And a stereoscope's function is to act as your brain and allow you to do just that.
Yes, but as long as you have the two images, two eyes, and one brain, you can actually do it yourself without needing a stereoscope at all.
Really? How?
Let's try it. Let's see if you can view this pair of prints without the help of a stereoscope. Oh yes, I'm dying to have a go.
Usato-san loves this kind of thing.
You need to be able to cross your eyes. That's the main thing. Can you both do that?
Cross my eyes? I think I can.
Watch me. And see if you can copy. Make your eyes do this! Are you ready, Mr. Naruto?
They're not about to fucking hit us with this, are they? Oh my god.
How's that?
Absolutely take a screenshot right now.
Oh,
if you have.
I have. I
Oh,
have.
excellent.
Wonderful! Now it's your turn, Muno! The trick is to concentrate on looking at the bridge of your nose with both eyes at the same time.
Not an easy task when people are staring at me cross-eyed.
Thank you.
Alright,
for that
that's enough
addition.
practice. That's enough of that. Let's look at the prints. Christian. Staring at one print, slowly cross your eyes. You should see two overlapping images like this. You try it now, Runo.
I'm just gonna have to give it a try, I suppose.
I guess so. Did it split? Now the next step.
Bam.
Bam. Incredible. They form a new single image in the center. Oh, yeah! Mr. Naruhodo, it works! Look! I could read it all day!
I wouldn't advise that. Your eyes might start to hurt.
Your turn, Bruno. Bruno's gonna do it wrong, and then we're gonna laugh at him.
I stood in front of the TV for like 20 minutes trying to get this to work for me. I can't get this to work.
I think because it's like a digital medium, it doesn't quite work.
This was a 3DS game, and I think in that you just turned the slider on.
You did it, so now you know how stereoscope images work. Well, I don't know who discovered it, but it really is quite extraordinary. So what do you think about the prints then, Mr. Naruhodo?
They're amazing, but isn't it easy to get the knack of it isn't easy to get the knack of viewing them properly.
Nope, some people find it easier than others. So that's why contraptions like this exist. For people who find it tricky. Oh, I recognize that. We saw one over there yesterday, didn't we? If I remember correctly, you press this little knob here and set the pair of photographs in the stand at the back.
Still amazing, even though I know roughly how it works now.
Well, London seems to agree with you. Stereoscopes are very popular at the moment. You can find one of these folding contraptions in the lots of households in the capital currently.
But if these little machines are so affordable, surely there's no need to go around staring cross-eyed at pictures like you hate them.
But it's much more satisfying to be able to see the effect with your own eyes. Well, I think so, at least.
Stereoscopic pictures, I never even heard of them until yesterday. You've certainly learned a lot, but I wonder if it's knowledge that I'll ever actually
I
need.
wonder if this is knowledge that we are ever going to use.
Will this ever be relevant?
Well, two people are murdered. Two twins are murdered side by side. And you can only find the solution by crossing your eyes.
Which reminds me, the back of this photograph was used to write the pawnbroker's ticket that Gina brought in here yesterday. The other photograph came from the pocket of the gilded overcoat.
We need to examine everything thoroughly. Don't forget. Thoroughly. Thoroughly.
Do we want to examine the images, like, in our court record? Have you guys already done that?
Present the recently acquired ticket to Iris.
Ticket.
Oh, you haven't received the ticket yet. No, yeah. It's the cat photo with the stuff on the back.
Oh, great.
I think it might have been the other one.
Whoops.
I hate boring things. I hate them.
This cat picture? Hate it.
Now, this cat picture. Oh.
Oh. Look at it a little closer.
Aha!
Uh-huh.
Written on it.
13th February, 9 p.m. Article deposited 1 small box. Loan amount paid 10 shillings. Redemption deadline 13 April, 9 p.m.
So this photographic print is a redemption ticket.
For the article that was deposited 2 days prior to the incident on the omnibus, it would seem.
Yeah. Small box. That doesn't tell us much about it, does it?
Perhaps it contained some valuable memories. I can't help wondering. Presumably, Mr. McGill had never redeemed the article in question since he still had the ticket. So isn't it possible that the still is still present somewhere in the shop?
Ah, yes. If it's something Mr. McGill deposited, we need to investigate.
Now do I present it to her, or do I go
I
back
think
there?
So. Go ahead and check the other cat photo too, just to be safe.
Oh.
This is the ticket Gina brought us in here yesterday.
Yep, having been entrusted to her by Mr. McGilded 2 months earlier. An overcoat.
And the other redemption ticket was in the pocket of that coat.
Yes, for a small box deposited 2 days before the omnibus incident.
That have anything to do with all this? You missed something.
Blood.
Oh, the bud.
Bud Light.
Mr. Naruhodo, I don't know if you've noticed, but there's something rather troubling here.
I have noticed.
The red smear, you mean?
Mm-hmm. Blood.
Yeah. Wonder if Susato-san had picked up on that. Apparently I didn't.
Well, in that case,
Yes, we need Iris.
show this to her before we forget.
Pawnbroker ticket coat. Thank you. Oh, that looks like blood!
Uh-oh.
I'd say it's from a gloved finger, but it's a glove made of leather.
Well, don't worry, Runo. You can leave the rest to me.
Green. Oh.
Oh!
Look at that.
That's a color I haven't seen before. Let's add it to our portfolio of blood samples. Although it would be nice to find out whose blood these different color corresponds to at some point.
Well, this particular stain of blood.
Oh?
Do you know whose blood it is? Whose blood would be on this?
Me, teacher, me. Me.
What-
you,
what
you,
do
you
you
with the pizza.
I think I might.
You think you might?
No, not me. What do you think?
Mr. Benedict Cumberbatch himself.
Whoa!
He said it was a glove finger, and Gina hit him with a little and cut his finger while he had the jacket, and that was found in the jacket pocket, so like, gotta be.
Excellent. I believe that this is the blood of...
Unless... That's not a fucking option.
I'm gonna guess Magnus McGilded.
After all, this redemption ticket belonged to him.
Oh, you don't think... You mean that during the incident on the omnibus?
I suspect so. It's a very clear print and no small amount of blood. That must have resulted from a fairly serious accident. And he might have sustained something.
Wait, but if I remember right, no sign of injury was found on him at all.
Oh,
We're trying to work out who the blood came from.
yes, I suppose we can. I'll have to think this through some more. Who do we know was bleeding at the time?
Mr. Thrice fired himself?
Mr. Thrice fired himself?
Thrice fired Mason.
You don't sound very sure of yourself.
Well, it was 2 months ago now, that case. And of course I never met the victim. I'm struggling to remember his name. He was definitely thrice fired, though.
The victim of the omnibus case? Yes, his name was indeed Mr. Thrice Fired Mason. But that would mean that this bloodstain was left on the ticket 2 months ago.
Yes, I think it was. Gina brought this ticket here to Windibanks yesterday. Struggling. I'm suggesting that the bloodstain was already on it at the time.
There was a smear of blood from the time that Mr. Mason was killed 2 months ago. Something else is coming back to me now. Mr. McGilded was also wearing leather gloves that night.
Oh God. Now I ask yous, what good-hearted soul wouldn't rush to help a fella bleeding from his stomach? Wasn't about to start worrying about me gloves now, was I? I reached out to give the man a hand, or 2 or 3.
Certainly does look like a leather-gloved thumbprint, this mark. But we know that Mr. McGilded had no injuries at the time, anywhere on his body. From which we can conclude that any blood on the glove belonged to the victim, Mr. Mason.
Mr. Naruhodo, you sound just like Mr. Sholmes.
Reduce.
Hi, Gabe.
Hey, Gabe.
Got a game.
Spin. A spin.
Nick, I don't suppose you can grab me a soda.
You want a soda?
I do kind of want
Do you want
soda.
Fresca or cherry Dr.
Coca-Cola. Cherry Dr.
Cherry
Cola?
Dr. Cola. Yeah, give me the cola.
I think you're right, Runo. Very well, so let's make a note of this.
Crack open a cold one. Soda.
Alright, Chad, it's time. Are you ready? Hang on. This one's for you. You're welcome.
That come in loud and clear. Okay, present the ticket from the box to Greg-san.
Gregson.
Greg-san.
Greg Sama.
I'm Inspector. What do you make of this?
Oh, what have we here then? A redemption ticket for an article deposited here, is it? Looks like someone ran out of office stationery and wrote the ticket on whatever paper was to hand. Yes, this is the ticket for McGilded's overcoat, the one that little diver turned up with yesterday.
Oh, actually, no, it's not. You're wrong.
Really? Think you know better than me, do ya?
No, I didn't mean it like that.
Runo's right, Gregsy. It isn't the same ticket.
Of course it isn't, of course it isn't. I never doubted you, your ladyship. So, what's all this about then, if I may be so bold as to ask?
This is a second ticket.
A second one?
It seems that Mr. McGilded, in fact, had another article in storage here at Mr. Windibank's.
Is that right?
I think we need to discuss this further with the inspector, Mr. Naruhodo.
Oh, good, because he's ever so easy to talk to. The ticket was in one of the pockets of Mr. McGilded's overcoat.
Huh? You mean to tell me?
Yeah, there was more than one. There was more than just the music box disc, it seems.
Insisted on the lads taking it back to the yard and examining it properly.
Well, according to the details on the ticket, Mr. McGillid deposited another article here with Mr. Windibank.
So I could see it written here. A small box, was it?
Do you have any idea where it is, Gregsy? Any idea at all? It's another article belonging to Mr. McGilded. It could be an important clue.
Well, yes, I suppose it could be. Please stop looking at me with those big turquoise eyes, all full of hope and expectation. It's too much pressure. I'll lose my marbles, I will. I'll go barking. Nom, 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 nom.
This is no time for dog impressions, Inspector.
That's enough sauce from you, sunshine. There's one thing that springs to mind. According to this ticket, the redemption's deadline already passed, hasn't it?
Oh yes, of course. Articles are only held for 2 months. So the small box will no longer be here then.
That's right, it's been forfeited.
Which means it could be on the shelves on the front of the shop, where the forfeited items are offered for sale.
Mm-hmm. Shelves in the front, search them at once.
Wasting your time.
Oh?
There are dozens of little boxes out there, hundreds even. You can't possibly know which one might have been McGilda's. That's information not written on the ledger.
Well, I think we should at least have a look, just in case.
Of course, your ladyship, of course. Very sensible of you, I'm sure.
This is getting old.
Dong. Dong.
Hey, look at that, a thinker statue.
I nearly jumped out of my skin there. How can Mr. Windibank set such a wicked trap?
Why did you point that out?
That's resulted in the deaths of 2 people in this series.
Oh shit, you're right.
I doubt he set out to scare anyone.
Is that really the time? I think perhaps we should pay Gina another visit soon.
Oh?
Her trial is tomorrow. We must establish whether or not you're going to be defending her. I think we should ask her one more time. She may have changed her mind. Don't you remember, Bruno? You told her she could rip up the representation papers if she didn't want you to be her lawyer.
Really? Did I say that?
Can I do that?
Yep, you did. The deadline for submitting the paperwork is fast approaching.
In that case, we'd better hurry back to the prison and talk to Gina one more time.
Sounds like we're gonna move to Gina.
Let's go to jail.
Thought we were gonna inspect boxes, guys.
Don't waste the time, you heard the man.
Hundreds of boxes.
Hundreds of boxes.
But Joey's like staring into the mirror, like on the verge of sentience.
I've been enjoying it.
Ah, Gina, good, you're back.
The police must have finished questioning her then. Oh, how was it, Ginny? Was it awful? Didn't bother me.
Thank you for the papers you signed before. It meant we were able to investigate at Windibanks.
Oh, right. Don't you want to know how we got on? We've been ever so busy. What's the point in asking? Won't change what everyone's saying, that I did it. That's not...
Gina, we came to ask for your final decision.
What decision?
About tomorrow's trial. Will you let me defend you or not?
Will you let me be your great ace attorney?
I must submit the paperwork now if you want Mr. Naruhodo to represent you. Right, I see.
She's really lost her fight all of a sudden. But I know what that feels like. The worry's just so hard to bear.
Quiet.
All right then, Blimey, give it a rest with the eyes, Iris. So come on then, fill us in. Who done it?
Unfortunately, we don't know that yet.
You don't say. We don't know yet, Gina. But Mr. Naruhodo and all of us know that you are innocent of this crime.
And while we haven't yet managed to work out who the real culprit is, there are a number of interesting facts we have managed to establish.
Oh yeah? Like what?
Well, for example, the reason for you being there in the first place. I think I know now why you broke into Windibanks that night. It looks like I'm going to have to take some evidence that clearly reveals the reason and thrust it in Gina's face. Or present it calmly.
Alright, so like, it's not the manuscript, right? Is it the manuscript?
I think it's the manuscript.
I also lean towards the manuscript.
We found this in Mr. Windibank's storeroom. The manuscript of Iris's latest story.
Oh, right. Well, that's good then.
Curiously, the storeroom at Winterbank showed no sign of being ransacked for items of value or the like. With one exception. The box file that housed this manuscript. It was you, wasn't it, Gina, who broke open the box containing this manuscript last night?
Eh?
You were determined to find out whether or not the Hound of the Baskervilles was really there. That's the reason you broke into the storeroom last night, isn't it?
Ah!
Why don't you tell us what happened? Please!
But first,
We already have the representation papers and the other documents we need.
It just changes the subject. All we have to do is hand them to the court desk. That is, if you allow me to represent you in court tomorrow.
Nah, don't bother. Jenny, rip them up and chuck them, would ya? They're representation papers or whatever they're called. This cell ain't fancy enough to have a bin.
So, what will you do in court tomorrow?
I'll be fine on my own. I don't think you will be. Look, it don't matter. What's gonna happen is gonna happen.
One stubborn pickpocket.
Alright, yeah. This Baskerville story, it's the latest Sholmes adventure, right? But it hadn't been printed yet. So I figured it's gotta be worth a fair few pieces of silver, right? Oh, yes, at least 5,000 pounds.
What? So you intended to sell Iris's manuscript, did you?
No. Jenny, how could you? What? Wait, no, hang on. Of course I weren't gonna sell it. All I wanted to do was find out if the manuscript, or whatever you call it, really was there or not. That's the only reason I was in the place. For Iris's sake. Isn't that right? Are you gonna let Joey out? Aw, thank you.
We knew why you done it from the start, Gina. Of course we did.
But I knew you wouldn't do anything mean like that, Jenny. I just knew it.
When I saw the manuscript in the storeroom, it reminded me of what you said the night before.
Grown-ups do a lot worse than that, believe me. Bare-faced liars, a lot of them. You just ain't realized it yet. I'm telling ya, that mantle script ain't at Winterbanks. You'd soon see if you had a look. If I'm honest, I have wondered if Hurley's telling me the truth sometimes. I mean that sometimes I wonder if he might have hidden my manuscript somewhere I don't know. Even though it's wrong of me to doubt him. Oh, Jenny, that was so sweet of you. Alright, alright. I'll tell you why I did it. Just stop looking at me like that, Iris. If it weren't because of Iris... It weren't because of Iris, that's not why I did it. I just wanted to know the truth, that's all. You wanted to know if Mr. Sholmes was being honest? If he'd really deposited the manuscript at Winterbanks? Like I told you the night before, I never had a father. But Iris's lot ain't like mine. She got her dad, only she can't see him. And I reckon that's gotta be harder.
yikes, girl.
That's why
Ooh.
she writes her stories. They're about her dad, really. That's what it sounded like to me, anyway. Last night, when I was listening to what you were saying. Stories about Daddy?
You mean they're not the adventures of a great detective? As much as the adventures of a great detective and his trusty...
Well, that's how I see it, yeah. You're so thoughtful and so kind, Jenny. Yes, and we never thought any differently, did we? Look, give it a rest, will ya? The battery's low. I ate those chummy nonsense, do you hear? I ate it. I don't trust no one, right? That's how I work, because if you don't trust no one can let you down. So leave me alone. Go on, Scarper.
I hadn't noticed until now, but it's unmistakable. Right there on both sleeves of that overcoat. There's some very suspicious red stains.
What? Where are you looking at me like that for?
What? I think it might be worth presenting some other findings in that area to Gina now. He's in...
Your Honor, spray this girl's coat.
I would say this pawnbroker's. It looks like the one you took to Winterbanks, isn't it? One that the black overcoat you're wearing now.
What, that? I don't know. They all look the same to me, those tickets.
Really not. This one has a very obvious mark on it. It would appear to be blood.
Eh?
Does that ring any bells? Blood?
I don't know, it all looks the same to me. Blood.
And they all sound the same to me. These answers. Suspicious.
Huh.
Who has the lime blood? No, present that.
Oh gosh,
blood-
not that.
the blood- the
Whoops. The blood, the blood.
Blood for the blood god!
Oh, I can't. I just have to present them. Gotcha.
The stains on the sleeves of your new coat, Gina. They're blood, aren't they? Not that I know whose blood yet.
What?
What?
But blood, Mr. Naruhodo.
You don't appear to have any obvious wounds yourself, though. So could it be the blood that splattered from Mr. Winterbank when he was shot last night?
Let's not beat around the bush here. Give me that coat. Take it easy, Iris. Don't move, Ginny. I don't want to have to do this.
Purple?
Oh my goodness.
Or purple?
Big old blotch.
Oh. Oh my.
Forget the sleeves. The whole coat is covered in blood. Of course. The black color of the fabric is masking the stains, that's why we haven't seen them till now.
And the blood has reacted with the chemical to turn a purple color, which matches one of the samples we've already collected perfectly. Yes, now let's see. Who has the purple blood? Girl, you might want to take that jacket off! It's the brickmaker, Mr. Mason, the victim of the murder case 2 months ago.
I knew it!
What? What are you all on about? The victim? What do you mean? It's a rather uncomfortable situation, Mr. Naruhodo, but I think this makes things quite clear. It means the omnibus case is finally solved. The truth about who really murdered the brickmaker, Mr. Mason, is revealed. Oi! Someone explain what's going on. Stop telling half the story.
You can see now that the victim's blood is all over Mr. McGilded's overcoat.
But in the trial 2 months ago, the defendant said that this in his testimony.
Now I ask you, what's a good-hearted soul wouldn't rush to help a fella bleeding from his stomach? But to start worrying about meat gloves now, was I? Reached out to give the man a hand.
But if you look at this overcoat now, it's clear. Stains couldn't have arisen from Mr. McGilded trying to put the victim on his feet.
No, if that's what had really happened, the blood wouldn't have splashed all over the front of his coat.
The only explanation for this pattern of blood is that it splattered over Mr. McGilded's coat when he stabbed the victim in the stomach. I've tried to run from the truth for long enough, but there is no escaping it now. The true culprit in that case, Mr. Mason's killer, Magnus McGilded.
Get Magnus McGild got.
McGilded.
Because you're dead.
Damn. Mr. Naruhodo.
That horrible case is solved at last. And I helped the man walk free from that trial. I used that twisted testimony and all that sham evidence to prove his innocence. How could I let that happen?
Bruno, did you believe him, though? Did you believe that Mr. McGilded was innocent?
I believed. Or rather, I think I was trying to believe. I wanted to. Because believing in those you represent in court is the defense lawyer's greatest weapon.
A weapon?
A knife. Before we came to Great Britain, a great friend of mine taught me a valuable lesson.
You mean Kazuma-sama?
Listen, Ryunosuke. We lawyers are only human. We can't know for sure what is the truth and what is a lie. That's why we must resort to our primary weapon. Unwavering belief in our clients. That's all we really have.
Unwavering belief.
Only when we truly believe what our client tells us can we fight with everything we have for their cause. In any battle, there can be no victory without faith. So I believe you, unwaveringly. Mwah.
Oh!
Little pet.
Hee
What's funny, Gina?
Sounds like this Empire of Japan you come from. Everyone must be soft. Well, come on, look at the mess it's gotten you into, believing in that bog trotter.
Yeah, I inadvertently helped the murderer walk free. Like an hour.
Well, at least you've learnt your lesson now, huh? Believing in people's never worth it. Someone always stabs you in the back in the end. As soon as you let down your guard, you've had it. Take a leaf out of my book. Believe no one, get hurt by no one. Gina, may I ask you something? What? I'd just like to make absolutely sure that you don't want me to tear this shit up right now. How many times do I have to say it? Rip them up and chuck them away. Very well. Are you really sure you want to start a new file?
Locked into the bed.
I bet that's what he wants and all now. Mister, I'm a believer lawyer over there. Don't forget it was me in the trial 2 months ago. I led everyone up the garden path, didn't I? And you're telling me you can believe in me after that? Not likely. He has to believe in Wonderland. She hasn't watched One Piece yet.
In Wonder. The lawyer's primary weapon is an unwavering belief in his clients and a huge gun. And ultimately, it comes down to whether or not I feel I can trust Gina after everything that's happened.
You can trust
Well,
her.
of course we can trust her.
Gina, let me say it again. Please allow me to represent you in tomorrow's trial.
Are you half-baked?
Not at all. You've not once admitted to committing the crime, have you? What's more, I believe that you're telling me the truth.
It's funny because his blood is on her hands.
Oh.
Because instead of him getting a guilty verdict, he walked free and died.
Oh.
See, Mr. Nero Odo, didn't you hear all what I said before? I'm a born liar, fibs just trip off me tongue, and I'm a diver, don't forget. I pulled the wool over your eyes 2 months ago and got you into all sorts of trouble. Why would you ever trust me now? You didn't even give me breakfast. I just don't get it. Gina, I do understand why you chose not to put your trust in others, but I assure you, there is more to this life than you yet realize. What do you mean?
You can have breakfast.
The world we live in, it's full of yummy food and people who would do very well, of people you would do very well to trust. People who won't ever let you down.
You ever have a Pop-Tart? It's true, I'm just a student of law and I'm certainly lacking in court experience. But I can promise you this. Whatever happens, and until my very last breath,
Pop-Tarts will be both good toasted and frozen. We promise that.
I am completely on your side.
We are also completely on your side.
Get general mills are on your side.
What do you expect me to say to that?
Oh,
Ryunosuke Naruhodo, help me. Then it's decided I will take these papers now and carry out the necessary preparations for tomorrow's trial. It would be a shame to throw them away now after it's been penned with your name so beautifully. Do what you want, you Eastern lot, or... Oh no, I don't know what you are, I don't get ya.
Gina's taking herself off to the back of her cell. Never admit it, but I hope she's feeling relieved. That turned out alright in the end, I think.
where's Sholmes? Where's Daddy?
Taking nappy.
Oh yeah, did Kristen give you the update on that? Or did you hear about the anesthetic?
Okay. Give me the update on the anesthetic. What the fuck's happening there?
Whoever's hiding there, show yourself at once. Eavesdropping is the height of cowardice.
Miss Susato?
Somebody is there in the shadows, I can sense it. Somebody who wasn't there before.
What?
Blimey, you're sharp, eh?
Oh,
Hey.
sir? You're using one of those mystic Japanese arts like the art of stealth I've heard so much about.
You're a ninja! If anyone was being stealthy, it was you, Inspector.
Gregsy.
Dear me, I am most terribly sorry, your ladyship. I didn't mean to startle you.
You startled us! Also, Sherlock Holmes is out of operation, but is still not waking up.
Yeah, he's just not waking up yet. They don't know if it's the anesthesia or not.
Got it. Good grief, listening in? No. I just got word that there were some visitors who were refusing to leave even though it was after hours. I assure you, your ladyship, I only just arrived this very minute, not a moment earlier. That's all it is. Nothing untoward, nothing at all.
After hours? Is it that late already?
So then I'll humbly excuse myself now, your ladyship.
We didn't get to have breakfast or lunch, but maybe we can get a late dinner.
Ha, toodaloo, cheerio, all the best, bye.
A lot of farewells. Not one of them appropriate for her ladyship.
Oh, but I wanted to have a chat.
I'm terribly sorry, but time is pressing at the minute.
Oh, I see. That's a shame.
I don't get this emergency at the Supreme Court dealt with sharpish. Lord Strongheart will,
Emergency
well,
at the... Emergency?
Lord Strongheart.
nothing, forget I said anything. Anyway, I'm off.
All right, Gregsy, if you have to. Well, let's chat soon.
Delighted, charmed, can't wait, if you please, my pleasure.
That's a lot of pleasantries, and not one of them sounded sincere.
Gregsy's so funny. He says such silly things.
Certainly entertaining to see an inspector of the police fawning to a 10-year-old girl. But anyway, I wonder what this emergency is at the Supreme Court.
I also want to know what the emergency is at the Supreme Court. I must attend to the court clerk's office now before it closes.
Of course. Thank you, Miss Susato.
Kindly escort Iris home now, Mr. Naruhodo. I shall meet you there later.
And so our investigation came to an end. Susato-san went to file the necessary papers for my defense of Gina the following day. And then it hit me. I could no longer suppress the wretched feeling that had been gnawing away at my insides. Tomorrow, Susato-san would be leaving Britain and making her way back to Japan.
Give her a fucking smooch.
The old floppy.
Naruhodo-san. It's been a very trying day, hasn't it? I do hope you're not too exhausted.
Like your battery.
What about you, Susato-san? Today has been even more trying for you, I'm sure. Mr. Sholmes was shot before our eyes, Gina was arrested, and all on the back of the news that her father had fallen ill and that she must return to Japan at once. I hope your father recovers soon.
Thank you for your kind words. I wonder why it is that so many thoughts rage in my head like a storm. and yet I seem unable to find the words to express any of them.
I know exactly what you...
Anyway, I have one final task to complete as your judicial assistant. Once that is done, I shall make preparations for my departure tomorrow.
Final task.
Susato smooch.
It's just 2 months since we arrived in London, but we've managed to establish this office. It was finally feeling as though we were settling in. I would be lying if I said I felt no regret.
So sorry, Susato-san.
It's just so sudden. I really don't know what to think. I've had no time to gather my thoughts.
I know we've only been here a short time, but in my limited experience of the courtroom, I feel I've learned something.
And what would that be?
Seems to me there are many facets to people's personalities.
Facets?
And like a jewel, the light plays off of them in a complex pattern, illuminating their actions and their motives. But we only see a small number of the total facets, and what is illuminated is only a part of the whole story. What lies in the shadows? What do those facets we cannot see look like? Perhaps there are some parts we'll never lay eyes on for as long as we live.
That's so true.
Sometimes I feel as though I'm blind to so much. I keep hoping that one day it will all become clear, and that all the facets will be illuminated, and I'll finally understand how everything is together.
Naruhodo-san.
I suppose what matters is that we keep our eyes open and keep moving forward, even if the way sometimes is dark.
It's amazing to think it's been just 2 months. You've grown so much.
Sorry? And what?
Oh, no, it was nothing. Unimportant.
Do you know what time you will leave London in the morning?
Yep, I picked up my ticket earlier. I shall be leaving here at 4 a.m. You gotta be on a boat in 5 hours.
Girl.
You got less than 5 hours.
I see. Well, I'll escort you to the station.
Absolutely not. You will get sleep tonight.
Sorry?
I'm sure you realize why I can't possibly let you do that. You have a very important day ahead of you tomorrow.
Ina's truck. I know, but
Every word you utter will have the potential to determine Gina's fate. You must get as much rest as possible, even though, like me, I'm sure you will find it hard to sleep. But please, for me, do try.
you mentioned one final task a moment ago. What did you mean?
Oh, my, I nearly forgot. Please, I want you to have this.
Is that something, some big bundle
Oh,
of
it's a
documents?
fucking book.
It's my notes from the case 2 months ago. The murder that was committed on the omnibus.
The McGilded case.
Seems to me that this case of Mr. Winbank's murder, of which Gina is accused, is very much tied up with the omnibus case, in ways that are not yet completely apparent. So I took the liberty of consolidating my writings about the case for you.
Everything else she's had to think. Sato-san still managed to do this, and all neatly laid out for me in her beautiful handwriting.
It was my pleasure. I can only hope that it will bolster your case tomorrow for Gina.
Thank you so much, Susato-san. I will do my best to use it wisely. You really are the best judicial assistant in the world.
Well, that's extremely flattering. But I'm sorry to say that I've been a complete failure.
Sorry? I don't quite catch what you...
Ignore me, I was just mumbling to myself.
What do you mean?
I bet it has to do with, like, the quest or whatever that Kazuma was sent over here to do.
Oh.
I think you should go to bed now, Naruhodo-san. I must finish packing up my things in my room.
Sato-san,
I wish you the very best of luck tomorrow. Good night.
Wait, there's something I need to say. What? What was that?
Secret technique of mine. The Susato shutdown.
Shut down?
Please, I implore you. If we have to voice our goodbyes, I won't be able to hold back my tears.
Man, what the hell?
Man, what the hell?
Really had been a trying day. On our feet for hours, getting Gina to open up to us, and learning the truth about that nemesis of a case. Physically and mentally, I was exhausted, and yet the idea of sleep seemed impossible. But I forced myself to close my eyes. And as a cacophony of scenes of our lives here in London played through my mind, eventually, my fatigue triumphed, and I fell into a deep sleep.
The small hours.
Oh. Metal Gear Holmes Edition.
Rest assured, I shall put everything in place exactly as we have discussed.
Thank you so much. It has been an honor and a pleasure to be acquainted with you, Mr. Holmes.
Well, this is definitely Susato, right?
On the contrary, the pleasure has been mine. I bid you farewell, and Godspeed. Dear madam,
What does it mean? What does it mean?
It mean?
Means she wanted to smooch Sholmes goodbye instead, god damn it!
I
He's
mean-
telling Sholmes to smooch everyone.
Look, you're gonna have to smooch Ryunosuke. It's just gonna have
You
to
might as well
happen.
get it over with.
Alright, Nick.
Pain in my heart.
We done did it.
Yes. You are done with investigations for the first game now.
Nice.
What does that even mean if I'm gonna hop right into the second game and then it's right into more investigation? What does that even mean?
The second game is a lot less heavy on the investigations than this one, if I remember right.
Oh. That fucking man.
That fucking
Look
man.
at him.
But on.
I want to get rid of that black back.
I kind of like
No,
the
the second
black
game
background.
is... The first game is good. I don't want to, like, downplay it. But, like, I think literally every single case of the second one is better than the best case of the first game.
Is this the best case of the first game?
Kind of between this and, like... I like the first one a lot in this game, actually.
Like the tutorial one?
Yeah.
With Kazuma?
In Japan. I think it's really good. Like, I think it's one of the best tutorial cases.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
damn
I-
it is like
for
the
sure.
only one with Kazuma in it, so like it kind of has to be the best.
It's kind of true. Why did he die such a stupid death?
There's something else I saw recently where someone died the same way, and I don't remember what it was. Someone just, like, fell over.
He was like half shoved over.
Yeah, it was, like, basically manslaughter. No, this game has a few rough spots, in my opinion, but, like, all of the payoff is worth it. The second game, I think every case is amazing. The second one probably the least of them, but it's still pretty good. There's one part I'm not too happy about, but it makes sense with the plot, and it's...
Is that logical leap you keep talking about?
I think I can say this. Basically, there's a part where you have to operate under a whole bunch of, like, things that are obviously bullshit, but, like, diegetically, you don't know that they're not bullshit yet.
Okay.
If that makes any
Okay.
sense.
Yeah, okay. Interesting. I'm excited.
No, the payoff is extremely worth it, in my opinion. Like, I can't even make the comparison because you didn't play the second Edgeworth game.
Right.
But it does a thing where it hits like a point at one point in the game, and then it just like the rest of it is like one thing, and it all just like snowballs really quickly.
Huh.
And I like it
Okay. All right.
once all the setup is done.
Trial part 1, we've fucking made it.
And I think this this case is like it just has a whole bunch of like story at the beginning, even before the murder happens, which kind of makes the investigation like really drag on.
Mm-hmm.
But the trial part I think is pretty good.
I'm looking forward to the
It
trial.
does some unique things.
Oh yeah, I'm excited. I am excited to see mystery nutcracker men that shot Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
Sherlock Holmes.
I can't wait to see whoever had the what color was it? Green blood? Green blood.
Greenbelt. Who got so? Because that's definitely whoever got shot by Mr. Windebaker, right? That's absolutely where his one bullet went.
I think that's a safe assumption.
I think so as well.
Oh.
Portland.
Short lad is fun. The short of the Nutcracker duo, whose silhouettes I saw for a half of a second.
I'm trying to remember what their names were.
Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
I'm gonna tell you what the short one's name is. You learn it like right off the bat.
Okay.
Ringo.
Ringo.
Oh,
Ringo.
is it?
I think the tall one
Nicholas?
is Nash.
Nicholas Ford.
Yeah?
Were you about to see fucking clowns?
No. You will not see a clown.
Oh god, thank fucking god.
In this case.
Jiggle physics at their finest. Oh no. Oh no? Question mark?
Oh yes.
Oh yes.
The Kirby game has really good jiggle physics when he's full of water. All I can say about that. Alright. Hey, thank you for sitting listening to us scream at a screen for
Thank you
several
so
hours.
much, Christian.
Yeah, thanks for
You're the
sticking
real
around,
one.
Christian.
Yeah. We're gonna stop now though. So good night.
Good night, friendo.
Have a great
Goodbye.
night.
You be chillin'.